and you are welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. Give it to me, guys.
Give you what?
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay, that's what you want.
Get out.
No, I don't. I just give it to me. It sounded somehow.
Energy.
I
It's a
didn't.
new Monday. You have to start the podcast with energy. It's a
Eh,
new
that's what you
Monday.
say now. Which one is give it to me? Give you what? That's what I asked. All right, let's do
You're
it again.
behaving
Let's do
as
it
if
again.
you're behaving as if you were not born in the 90s. Wasn't
All
that
right,
the slang?
all right, let's
The
do it again.
90s.
Let's do it again. Forgive me. Let's do it again.
It's one time. It's one time.
No,
Opportunity
it's
comes
one
but
take.
once.
Or sax, one take.
I'm going to be like a true Nigerian. Nigerians, they'll give you opportunity because you're not,
It's,
adapting very fast. They
it's,
take it away. You say, that's what
you
they
see,
do now.
no. Really know they talk since something 2 times.
I know they talk on 2 times. You literally have it. Just give it to me now. Do you understand? I know. Now where I give you, what you do? They will now punish you. No, God. We need to rework the way we think in Nigeria.
And the way the way we have conversation.
Do you know what I feel?
That's Osag's number one pet peeve.
Yeah.
Osag, ask me a question.
What time are you leaving for school?
I'm not sure. I've not made up my mind yet. Okay, no. Ask me a question again. I want to ask me another question. I want to respond the way that annoys you.
Yeah. Okay. So, what time are you leaving for the football field?
Osag, how do I answer this thing now?
You asked me the question. I know.
Okay, Osag, what time are you leaving the house today?
I wanted to get there by afternoon.
Osags, what time are you going to sleep?
Ayo said you call me. Bro.
Osags will be like, what time are you leaving?
Bro.
You know why? Because you're always defensive. You're looking, so every time somebody asks you a question, you're looking at the loophole. Where this person will catch me? When we are home for, so me, I go preempt town. I go.
Yeah, like, bro, man. See, having conversations with Nigerians, and see, the punishment is that it has not happened to my own kids too. So I'm going through it at home. I'm going through it. Yeah. Are you done with that? I'll take it out now. No. Listen to my question. Are you done with it? So what I do now, they ask me, I just ask the question again. Are you done with
He
it?
doesn't want you to tie him down to a time frame. So anytime you see him.
It's just the way we're raised. I think we're always raised out of like fear and always being defensive. So when someone asks you a question where you know you are
it's
not,
so bad now.
because if you are taking it away, you would have said yes, I'm taking it away.
You give a
If you are delivering on it, you have to. Yeah.
It's so bad now that you still don't even give the correct response. Yeah, it's that bad.
Yeah.
That's why they write IELTS. That's why Nigerians write IELTS. We have to see, bro.
The correct
What happened
response.
is that one time in Canada or whatever, right? John, white guy, the probably mid-level manager, talks to Emeka or whatever. I don't want to give people a tribe. I just call random name now. They will centralize it to one tribe. I'm tired of you people.
Exactly. Now they just say, yeah. I see the rigmarole you wanted to do just because you mentioned a name. Nigeria is not easy. But fuck it. You mentioned it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I beg.
Yeah. Let me just say a random English name. Emeka. What percentage of completion are we on the project? I'll get it done now, sir. Emeka.
That's the point. Bro, in work meetings and in work conversations, I find myself like listening very carefully and being slow to respond so as not to make this mistake.
Yes.
It's a very deliberate, approach from me. So when you ask me a question, Steve, where are we on this? I listen to that question and hold on a little bit and say, oh, we are on 20% completion. Like, there's a lot.
That's great.
Or say the normal term is, oh, Steve, where are we on this? Oh, I'll get it done by Wednesday. No, where are we on this? I'm like, oh, we are 50% done, 20% done. That's how I communicate, and it's a deliberate, and it's from Osagie. It also comes from Osagie always talking about it too. So I became self-aware. I became very conscious about it. So anytime I'm having a conversation, especially a serious conversation that require, like, maybe in work, it's usually work, right?
Yeah.
I always think twice, like, think it through before I respond, so I not to make that mistake. Which because I know it annoys people. Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Like you can tie it straight up to accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
When will you send me the money? I go send her, no worry.
When?
Do you understand? If you say next month, I can then react to next month, say, I think I would need it earlier than next month, maybe next. But I
Exactly.
don't even want to create that scenario. You don't. So I go run. I go give you your money now.
I go
I
run,
go
I go
give
run, I
you.
go run, I go
When
run.
are
It
you
did my
going to
mind.
give me? Are
It
you
did
not
my
going to
mind.
give me? So so what must have happened was that John, after Emeka replied John like that, John would just go to his boss, Frank, say, Frank, can I have a minute with you? Yeah, yeah, John, come in. I
don't
think we
think
have a
this.
problem.
I
I think
don't
we
think
have a
these
problem.
niggas understand English.
Yeah, I think we have a problem with these Nigerians in the office. Emeka, Tunde, and Sarah, same problem. What's the problem? You ask them a question and just can't get an answer. All right, I think we need to speak to the Home Office or the guys in charge in the embassy, and then we need to screen Nigerians before they get here. So we need to get Nigerians who actually speak English.
Yeah.
I've written IELTS before, bro. That shit is as basic as, but I was writing it and I was laughing. And if you ask me why I was laughing, because I say, no, like, I get it. All my people, because it's very simple. Straight,
Yeah.
straight, straight, straight. I got like, what's the highest score? Like 9, right?
If you literal just hook it here and
Yeah.
I think
boom,
it's like 9 or
copy and
something. I got like
paste.
8. And I read and I just practiced at 3 a.m. in the morning. And that's when okay, this is what it is. And it's good to actually practice. So if you've not written IELTS before, don't wing it because
Yeah.
it's structured. There's a way you have to write it structured. You know the English, but like it's structured. And there are some things you need to be aware of, like timing and all that. Right. So they are very good questions. They'll ask you a question like they can give you like a composition and you read the composition. Then there are questions they ask you, and the questions then say true, false, not stated. And I was just
Yeah.
looking at it and I was reading it, I was just laughing because I knew that all Nigerians are going to have problem with this thing. Because they can ask you a question and the whole conversation, it is not stated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. We need to do better as I don't know. So I'm saying all that to say that maybe the problem we're actually facing or the problem we're actually having or experiencing is that English isn't our local language and people think in other.
I don't think it's
I'll get that. People think
okay.
in other languages. I know the accountability thing is big,
Yeah.
but I'm
When
telling
you're
you, some
speaking
of
Yeah.
now,
these things also
you
have to
don't
do with how
identify
people
gender.
think.
Yeah.
I've met people who say they think and they dream in their local language and not English, and that's why Yoruba English is a very big deal.
No,
You
there is
understand?
now. You
Yeah.
can say
Let's
Oboru
think of
Okoro.
like there are plenty Yoruba English.
Yeah. So you're like saying she's
Yeah,
going
but
to the market. There's no version of that in Yoruba. You just say, yeah, Losoja is gender neutral.
yeah. Absolutely, especially like how you were raised. If you were raised in a local language and then you had to learn English in like school, and English wasn't like the lingua franca, so to say, at home, you're probably thinking in another language, and that's fine. Do you understand? I want to think of like Yoruba English now. They're like 1 million. I correct somebody almost every. On schedule, see me, you are eyeing me. Do you understand? Like they just take the Yoruba right, and they just copy and paste, and and just do the fake translation, and it's become that like that kind of English. And really, see, maybe it's not actually a bad thing because those things can now become some sort of like I don't know if you can have like I think it's too late, but like Nigerian English because you can't run away from those things. People say those things every day, like Yoruba English, right? So would you target Pidgin English? You won't, right?
No, you won't target page.
Yeah, and you know, like I don't understand like Igbo, right? Well, I understand Yoruba, and my friends who speak Igbo will tell me, and as I've done with Yoruba, is that like these languages are way more complex than English. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
English is hard to understand, right? If you're like a non-English speaking person, like if you had to learn English, it's difficult. But like Yoruba, for instance, because I understand Yoruba, so I can give examples, and Steve, you can give examples for Igbo as well. There are some things you say in like Yoruba language, and there's no English translation.
Yes.
First of all, I
Yeah.
actually
That's
think
so
Yoruba
fast.
language is cool because you don't have like gender.
Yeah.
You understand
Okay.
in Yoruba language? Yeah, there's no he, her. It's
So there's
just
no way to describe. like a woman or a man in Yoruba. Like Igbo, they said
No, you
Igbo.
can.
Okay.
Of course, you can do that. But in terms
Uh-huh.
of
Okay.
like
So what do you mean?
pronouns, I'm talking about the pronouns.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah. So it's
Is it, isn't it like that in
Olosoja.
it's like I think it's like that in Igbo too. I can't remember having any I can't remember any pronoun for like male or female. I'm not sure.
That's to me that's like freaking cool, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, the
cool.
LGBTQ guys are gonna fucking love it.
Yeah, yeah.
you know, because you don't have like any pronouns. Then there are things like I remember like Lagwaja was saying this on one of the albums. He said like a carbon are welcome, but waiting be a kunle, you know. And a kunle means so a cowboy is when someone comes from the outside and then you say welcome, a
Yeah.
cowboy. But when you are the person coming from outside, what you say to the person inside is ekunle. That is
It doesn't have English translation.
do you understand? Like, happy chilling at home,
Because yeah.
and there's no English translation
Yeah,
to
for
that
it.
to that shit,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so, like, I think Yoruba language is like really cool, and
Yeah.
they're like other things. There's a guy on Instagram. Oh my goodness, I love that guy. I don't know if you guys know him. Oh man, I love that guy. I've forgotten. Let me try and pull up his name so that you guys.
Is it in Yoruba?
Yes, he speaks
Okay.
in like English. He speaks in English, but breaks down Yoruba, and he
Okay.
breaks it down in what's his name now? Ayo? Oh, I bumped into him on uh on Instagram because I need to get on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok yet. I mean, I have an account thing, but like it's too distracting, so I don't even want to do it. I've forgotten this guy's name, but if we see it, we'll definitely put it in the show notes. He breaks down Yoruba adages, movies, music. Like he's really good. He did the breakdown of Jakun Jakun, and I think we need more people like that. Honestly, I would love to work with someone like that in creating like a podcast or creating something more long form. Even though I love his short form stuff, right? But just creating long form. And I think these are like I think this is why media houses need to be empowered, right? This is why you guys need to empower Global Village, right? That if you have the resources, you can actually pick this guy up and partner with him, and then he can start creating long form content. There's this other gentleman who goes to Ibadan, a lot of the southwest cities, and does like short documentary. Ayo Adams.
Ah, Ayo Adams. That guy deserves a grant. That guy deserves a grant. That guy is fantastic, man. Bro,
Ayo Adams is amazing.
bro.
He is amazing. He's a digital content producer, right? And he just goes to different parts of the country, mainly the
Yeah, he's based in
southwest, to
Ibadan.
tell. He's based in Ibadan to tell really important stories. I am one of his. I'm his biggest
No,
fan.
he's mad.
You know.
He did a documentary on gambling, and bro, it will show you how in depth gambling has eaten into Nigerian society. Like he really did it
Hmm.
deep, deep, deep. Like no, the guy is brilliant. He's very brilliant, and I like the fact that he's in Ibadan. Everybody wants to make the rush to come to Lagos, but he's in Ibadan there, and he's pushing the
Yeah.
culture of the Southwest. It's actually brilliant.
Yeah. He is. He is. I'm just on his Instagram page now. I can see he interviewed one of my favorite artists, Buga. Remember Buga? Yeah.
Yeah,
I see. I think we need. I think this whole Afrobeat craze, and I love it. It's good. We need it, but we need other forms of music that we can enjoy as well. We're still
I believe so
bumping.
too.
Like if you're in traffic, Lagos traffic, right? And you see the guys selling the CDs. They are not as many as before because everybody has moved digital. But there are people that still buy CDs, and you still find those guys. Two albums I know you will see in the roster of those CDs they are selling. The first one is Asha, that the 007 album.
OCD,
For
yeah.
sure, you will still find it.
Yeah,
you will still
that one is a
uh,
bestseller.
they're
Bestseller.
still selling the album. But do you know one other album that has been selling even before then?
Beautiful
Thank
Nubia.
you, thank you. Beautiful Nubia's album. My goodness, that album is oh my
This
god.
I'm about to do something on it. I'm about to do something
You
on
need
it
to.
because
You need to.
it's been a
Nah,
while.
you need to. Beautiful Nubia's album. My goodness. What's the name of that album again? So that we
Jangbala, I can't remember the name. Wait, hold on. I have it on my.
I'm going to pull it up. Beautiful Nubia and the Roots Renaissance Band, Jangbala Jubu.
Yeah, Jangbala Jubu.
That's the name of the album, Jangbala Jubu. The album is a classic. Like classic,
Yeah, it was a classic.
classic.
It came before Asha's album.
Yes,
Maybe yeah,
it came in
yeah, like 0304.
2002, bro. That's how.
Yeah,
Do you
2000.
understand? Do you think about where
Yeah.
music was in 2002? This guy created an
Mm.
album. It's a folklore album, basically.
Yeah, it is. It's a folk album.
Yeah, and bro, I listened to this album throughout like uni days. I remember one guy. Ah man, so many stories. This album, you go to like every person's house and they had like different CDs, but everybody had this album. And you play this album in the
Yeah,
morning. Oh, Lord, Marie.
that was the classic one. That was the
You
classic
know,
one.
my jam is actually oh what a feeling running me around. I cannot
No,
help myself, baby.
man is the people are ready.
What?
That's a very political
The
song.
people are
The
ready.
people
Yeah,
are ready. Very political
yeah,
song.
yeah, man. We do this all the time. We just move from the intro and just start talking. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. How was your week? Shout out to everybody. Let's do some shout outs. Let's do some real good shout outs. I feel like we don't shout out people and we just ask how the week was going. I really want to do a shout out to everybody that listens to this podcast.
Shout out to
They're
all of them.
different people. So shout out first of all to everybody that listens to this podcast. I'm talking about my young gunners, my young men who listen to this podcast, who reach out to us for feedback, for guidance, etc. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the brosses, the ones that are Steve's age, that are bros. That you sit there like you just sit there like you can't even just it's his bros.
I don't think people know the real, like, I don't think people know this about this podcast, right?
That
That
was.
what?
That I'm the youngest out of the audio hosts of this
No,
podcast.
you know
I
what?
don't think
You know
people know
what?
that.
See, let me
But
explain
this is
for you.
my passport says I'm younger than you.
That's your passport. Please, first of all, you have a green and gold passport, so it doesn't matter. First of all, it doesn't matter. Secondly, there's this thing about Niger Delta guys. They age faster than normal people because of the environmental pollution and social political stress. Have you ever seen a young Niger Delta guy still Osagie? Say this guy
The
a young guy.
environmental pollution that gave you people money.
They don't grace.
just
They don't
go
grace.
from
They don't grace age fully.
They actually just go from being like childlike,
And they don't turn boss.
like
From
bros.
child
Do you
to
understand?
boss. They don't have no
I've not seen
teenager
any
young.
adolescents
No, no.
out. Yeah,
I've not
especially
seen.
from
This is
Sulusi area. I've not seen-
tribalism.
I've only seen one person.
Tribalism.
I've only seen one person, and that's why he's a respected OG in the game, and that's R&D. Apart from that,
Yeah,
person na bros. Timaya came out.
everybody na bros. When I met Chuksudo was a bros.
Yes, Timaya
You
came out the
understand?
gate.
I can call all my friends.
Timaya
He was
came out
already
the
a
gate
bros.
looking like a
When I
veteran.
met Chuksudo, he had already managed Kaha.
Looking like a legend.
You understand? Like how?
Timaya looked like a legend
We
when
were
he
just
came
in
out.
the game at that time, and he had already managed. And he was, man, I managed Kaha. I'm like, nigga, we're just like 2 years in the game, and you managed Kaha.
No.
How is this possible?
Niger Delta niggas,
when-
check the
When
artist.
Rema blew up,
Yeah.
right? He just hit me up. Oh, I managed Rema and Alpha P back then. What the hell? When was this? What
Hey,
the
where is
hell?
Alpha P?
Alpha Dale. I think it's no longer with
He
Universal.
got signed to Universal.
Yeah, I think that deal expired last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember.
So yeah, I
But-
expect
I listened to like 30 of his songs, bro.
no. The boy is too good. The boy is too good now.
Yeah.
Alpha is too good. Alpha is too
Alpha,
good.
God damn.
Alpha is too good.
That
I
was
remember him
what-
coming to pause, and he was during the interview. He was just talking about like Benin, growing up in Benin, doing music in Benin. He was just mentioning familiar names. So after the interviews, I now spoke to him. I even called one of the guys that he mentioned. He lost his mind. Like, bro,
Wow.
we talked about Phil Town, the producer in Righteous Man Studio. Like like
Phil
we're just
Town,
talking.
yeah.
Oh, more he
I
lost
still
his
saw,
mind.
I still saw
He
Righteous
took a
Man last
picture.
week.
He took a picture with me. Like, oh, more. So since then, I've always been like looking out.
You know the beautiful thing about like being in like the creative space in other states other than
Lagos.
Lagos.
Yeah.
It's a very small community.
Yeah, it's very
You
small.
know
Yeah.
everybody.
Everybody
Yeah,
know each other.
You know,
Yeah,
you know
everybody knows
everybody.
each
You've
other.
probably been to every studio.
Yeah.
I see. There was a young man when I was in Ilorin when we were rapping and making this music. There was a young man who a couple of our guys used to jump on beats on. We had our own producer. Shout out to BD. Who was our own producer, Buddy, and he was from Abuja. Gave us banging beats, knew how to sample and scratch. So we used to work with him. But there was this other crew, right? They'll come to the studio, and we would just hear these beats, and these beats just sounded like Like, well, I was always to ask them, did you guys download these beats? And they're like, no. There's one young kid who's in secondary school,
Hmm?
making these beats. I'm like, wow, that young kid. I'm talking about 05, 06. That young kid turned out to be Cess.
Says the wicked
Child.
producer.
Yeah.
It's the problem kid, not
It's a problem
wicked
key. Sorry,
producer.
I know he has a problematic. The
It's not a
wicked or
wicked
problem.
It's a problem, sir. Oh man.
So shout out to Cess. It was actually Cess. Guess what?
Yeah.
I didn't meet him physically
Yeah, that's true.
until then he was telling
Late
me,
back in the
oh,
days, yeah.
it was now. I think when he now blew up with files and everything. I don't know who I was having a conversation with. The guy just called me and said, "That's the guy that was making beats for us back then in Ilo." I'm like, "That's the guy that was." Oh, he now
Nobody-
checked out because Cess is one of bro.
Nobody falls out
Sorry.
of anywhere, bro. Like people
No,
are
you don't.
working. People are working at the background, and it's just this amount of work, this years of consistency that makes you prepared for the big stage. If he hadn't gone through those processes, I'm not sure he would have been able to have that opportunity with his files to start creating magic, right? You know? Yeah, nobody just
this
comes
your
out of
theory?
anywhere.
With this
Yeah.
your theory of nobody just drops out of anywhere.
Yeah.
Where did Gist Lover then come from?
This lover is the antichrist, my guy.
So
Because-
I think Gist Lover is a product of society journalism. Like if you go deep, I'm not sure if you go deep into it. If you want to start doing this investigation, you notice you must find out that this guy had worked in a media house or
Gist
worked as a
Lover
journalist.
He started somewhere.
It's very tied to
It's
Yoruba
very-
Nollywood. That's
Thank
the genesis.
you. Thank you. So
That's
he
the genesis, because that's where
Yes.
Gist Lover plays the most and gets
In
the
fact,
most connect and the most exclusives.
I thought about it one day. I was looking at all the society journalists that I know, like OGs, like
Yeah.
the Hints and the journalists who did. They all had their roots from Yoruba Nollywood, from Yoruba society or Yoruba filmmaking.
Yeah.
That's where it usually comes from, and from
Yeah.
there they start knowing everything. Gist Lover is a product of an OG system of society reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
I'm telling you,
It's facts.
yeah, you know,
100% facts.
yeah. So, yeah,
So when they arrested those young men, I'm just like, what are you guys doing?
because
I think these
they
young
arrested
men,
someone earlier, like 2 years ago. Another person entirely.
they just go on the street. You are just
Guys, I have a theory.
Yeah.
You know how terrorism works when you arrest like a bunch of terrorists and another cell activates, right? That's
No,
what
see my theory.
That's what
See
Instagram
my
does.
theory.
Once they
See my
arrest one of
theory.
them, I sell another person just goes online.
See my theory. My theory is that because he's
sorry, Steve. You deal with Al Qaeda, ISIS.
Al-Qaeda.
just come.
Yes, now one cell will just launch
You're
again.
dealing with Insta blog. Gist Lover comes.
You know many logins. All of them
My
don't get
theory
logins.
is
Talking
that
about years of society like online, and if you trace this thing back, you go far back of Ladun Liadi.
yes,
go
now
as,
then
Stella
Stella
Dimoko, then
Dimoko,
Lila.
Stella Dimoko
yeah.
course. Yeah.
Stella
It's
Dimoko was
just
there. See, my theory with this Gist Lover thing is that just because they have to do paid content and advertising, they have to
Yeah.
open back accounts. I think they're using
Yeah.
networks to have back accounts
Oh,
for people
that's
to send
true.
money to.
Yeah.
So I think that's where people are tracing these people from
Those
and
guys'
arresting
money.
people. Yes, that's how it is. I'm not sure they are the real guys. I think the real guys are using pseudo networks to just collect money. You know, because yeah. You know, and Instablog was going towards this, but discovered that if I have to make money, I have to like stop doing this and move towards
Instablog
like
chilled.
he
Instablog
chilled because he wanted
man.
to make money, you know. So it's hard to do this type of things and still be making money off it because the money will lead them to you. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
There's a paper trail now. There's a paper
The
trail.
paper trail is
And
there
you
now.
need to-
So yeah,
And I think if you keep fucking with people, man, somebody.
I'm telling you,
Somebody's going to
Somebody-
dedicate.
Someone's
we all
going to
know,
dedicate resources
we
to
all
you.
know
And time.
bank CEO or
My
his
brother.
DMD that
My
put in
brother.
one of our journalist friend in
This thing
jail
that
for 1 year.
okay. Oh, I thought you wanted to mention another thing again. I thought you wanted to mention. I don't mention a podcast.
Mention this.
A podcast on YouTube. See, I'm like, Osagie, don't let them yank our
I
podcast.
beg you. I don't know any podcast they yank off. I beg. Shout out to the Federal Republic. Shout out to Lagos State. Shout out to ABJ.
Everybody.
FCT. ECOWAS,
out to everybody.
Organization of African Unity, UNESCO, UNO, peace, one love.
People are powerful.
anyways.
People are powerful, bro. Like,
Yeah,
people
so
are
I mean,
powerful.
like, bro, they arrested a journalist. I don't know, you know the guy, right? And I'm
Yeah,
not.
they
That's my
arrested
guy now. That's my
I know him
guy
now.
to tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's my
You know him
guy.
too, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
now.
bumped at one conference.
Yeah, you
Yes.
remember? You know him now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
guy was
yeah,
telling
yeah,
his
yeah.
he was telling his
One
stories of
boy,
woe.
one boy
Yeah.
came out and just moved into PR straight.
Instantly, if you're not journalism are your mates.
When you go to
You
YouTube,
understand?
I
He
was
spent a
straight.
year, a
A
year.
year in Kirikiri.
Bro,
A good
he-
Was it
year.
Kiri? I heard they flew him to Abuja. He was in
They
Abuja.
flew into Abuja. It was in Kirikiri, then they flew into Abuja again. Like when people were visiting him too much in Kirikiri, and he was having level, he was staying in like one
VIP,
place in Kirikiri. He was
VIP
like, no, no.
room.
They flew into Abuja for
His
close
mom was
watch,
begging 1 year.
bro. Not for you. You
They
dey
don't
whine.
carry and go, no court case, no nothing, straight to
Court
kill.
case.
Go there,
Nigeria.
because the bank MD,
You know, the
Nollywood
the
woman,
loss.
and one they do.
Fucked him up.
So that's what's up.
He
That's
listens to
what's
this.
up.
He listens to this pod a lot, though. Too there.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah,
him. Then,
shout out to you.
Shout out to him.
respect,
He listens to this.
Yeah.
pod.
So shout out to everybody listening to us from Nigeria. Shout out to
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah,
everywhere.
we got a lot of tags on Instagram. On Instagram this week because we talked about Mommy Z. That a lot of people will start policing our tweets, and immediately it happened. They were mentioning us. Oh, Steve Osagie and Ayo said this.
Shout out to the chef.
You guys didn't see it.
Shout out to
So
the
I
chef.
said-
Shout out to the chef.
Even Akpemi
Femi
Farmer
Femi
King said it too. Shout out
Yeah,
to
I saw that.
yeah.
I mean, it's a law, right?
Yeah.
You have to zip when the applause is loudest. You just
Yeah.
go deactivate your account, bounce.
Bounce.
If you don't deactivate your account, just put the last tweet should just be a very nice God bless you all.
God bless
Just
you
be
all,
humble.
man.
Just be putting
humble. See that
Sunday.
Wiz humble, that
Yeah.
Wiz humility.
Yeah.
You need it in your life. Everybody needs it if you are going to be in the Nigerian space. That's how to be a darling.
Yes,
Just be humble.
they go clear you.
Do you understand? You can literally take a shovel and be chopping someone's head off and just be saying, I just thank God. I thank my people. I just be chopping someone's head off. And see this guy. Now I'm Oluwabi.
Or do like Two Face. Or do like just one love. One love, my people.
One love,
One love.
one love.
No fighting.
One
Peace. Peace.
Only one,
One
just
love.
one love.
One love.
Lord, nothing they happen.
Nothing they happen.
Nothing there. And we did here. So shout out to everybody. And I'm just looking at the data, and guys, people are listening to us from everywhere. I'm talking about Cross River, Niger, Bauchi, Bayelsa, everywhere. Love, love, love. And to our people in the US as well, Texas, California, Maryland. Maryland is different from the one at
Maryland.
after the one after Idiroko.
Maryland.
I
Maryland.
was telling Jessica one time, and just finished one time. Anytime I hear,
Sorry,
anytime someone
Steve. When you say Jessica, please let us be
Sorry,
blessed.
sorry.
It's on
Say
first name
Jess.
basis
It's
because
Jess,
they call it
Jess.
alcohol.
No, Jessica sounds like all these 90s baddies. No, just finesse, please.
It's
a
finished.
brand.
And anytime someone's mentioned Maryland, you are the first person I just think about, and you are the only person I want to be mentioning that name. That name, like Maryland.
Maryland.
There's a way they mention it. I'm like, okay, this is not Maryland.
very
This
different
is not
from
Maryland.
Maryland,
Mendy.
This is not Mende.
This is not Maryland. Where to Tolani stays. This is not just.
You don't express the
From
line. Wow.
Maryland, Mende. New York, District of Columbia, DC, Georgia, Illinois, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. So many, like, guys. You just feel the love. Our UK people as well, whether you're listening from England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, we love you guys. And of course, our people in Canada, the Ontario people, our Alberta people,
Canada.
British Columbia, Quebec,
Minus-
Manitoba,
Minus 20 people.
Saskatchewan. Yes, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick.
Oh, that reminds me. Someone nowhere. I'll talk to the person after the pod.
Someone from where? Norway.
No, I said someone to know where who this today and stuff like that. Like I'll talk to the person after the pod.
This guy.
Now you know that
Our
one.
Ghana people as well.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know.
Okay. I'll
Send
tell you
it,
after
type
the
it,
pod.
type it. Just type it here. I can see it.
Okay. The bottom of my screen is bad, so I don't even know what it.
You know, type
I
it.
can't
see
even see
some?
that part of the screen.
Can you see son?
Use WhatsApp. Use phone.
You
WhatsApp.
understand now, Abi?
I don't know. I'm not seeing anything.
I'll
Use
tell you after
WhatsApp.
the pod. Don't worry, I'll tell you after the pod.
You are a momo man. Anyways, man, and everybody listens to like everywhere, man. See, we get listens from Estonia, Russia. No, Estonia is not surprising. Nigerians, we know say una full for there. You understand? Our Malta people, we hail you now.
Russians they
Liberia,
there. Nigerians still don't
uh-uh.
join Putin army. So men they
Uh-uh.
work once they listen to Blue Stock.
Bro, see, right now, is Nigeria not in war at war?
What's the difference now?
Nigeria, is Nigeria not at war with you
Oh
right
my
now?
god, wow. Kidnappers are entering
Eh,
people's home to take them. Ah,
bro.
Like
So,
say,
Shala,
I'm not
how's
to
your
go
week,
enter
guys?
Abuja. Uh,
How's your week? This is the first official week. That last week, not Tospi.
that
yeah,
was speed.
not us.
And I went in.
Went in.
Went in.
Pause.
Went in. Good. How about you?
First official week of the year. I still had to. It was kind of hard because going back to work, full throttle was demanding, but we survived it. Sir. Did some videos,
No
managed to put
survivor.
them out. Being productive so far.
Yeah.
That's dope. My week was good as well. Back into it. Kids resume school. So, the the scheduling and everything changes as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, back into it, man. Back into it. Thank God, everybody's good, looking good. Everybody's safe. What's the dollar looking like? The naira looking like? That's the problem. The good sign is that Bitcoin went up to 49,000
My brother.
I saw Osagie.
dollars.
I saw Osagie screaming in the group like, "Yo,
I swear.
You know, was
Oh, man.
went as high as $49,000 for a
Yeah.
Bitcoin,
I
and that's
need-
because
Yeah.
the SEC Security Exchange Commission in the US approved the Bitcoin
Approved it,
ETF, and then it's now literally listed on some stock exchanges.
Yeah.
Some exchange where people can actually buy and invest.
It's
So,
official now.
bro, I thought the thing was going to hit that 50K, but it didn't. It went to 49.
It
Then
went to
came down,
49 came
now
down.
40,
Yeah.
40 something now, 45 or something. I thought it was.
There's still going to be another run. So I'm even contemplating. Because
I
this
need it to hit 60K.
Oh man.
That's why I need it to hit 60K. We hit that like.
That's 60K now. When Osagie go become billionaire. Now why
I'm
in the
selling.
now why in they talk about that 60K?
I need it to hit that 60K. I've been holding now.
I know.
I've been holding since when. But yeah, that was good just to see that. As the Bitcoin was rising, your naira was falling. That naira is not even ashamed of itself. You should. What's that meme of that SpongeBob meme where the guy is pushing the thing and saying "Get up, get up."
Bitcoin is outperforming in that's insane.
Yeah, Bitcoin has
An
been
official
outperforming
tender.
naira.
Oh man. Thought they said that the reason why they floated the naira and took out subsidy was to prevent the fall of the naira, prevent further inflation. Like what has been the one advantage to the Nigerian people of floating the naira and removing fuel subsidy? What has been the advantage?
That's $1 million question.
One, just tell me one.
This question is harder than the question I saw in my technical drawing.
Or further mass.
It hasn't given us any benefits, so they should bring back the subsidy.
But they can't pay for the subsidy.
then-
That's the problem. They can't literally pay for the subsidy.
So all that money that we were paying for subsidy, where did that money?
What did that money go to now?
So
Yeah,
the
when
you
problem
tell us
is
what
that
you went to? Can you tell us what-
they're not even paying for something. They could not even pay. They were owing. Yeah.
That's I know, but I know they will still pay. Even the ones that are owing, they will still pay. That money, now, what are they using it for? Can the government say this is
That's
specifically
what
what we
maybe
use
it's
this
part of
money for?
maybe it's part
Money
of the
that we saved.
humanitarian something that disappeared into a private account. We don't know. Nigeria's a puzzle. Nigeria's a
How do you
puzzle, my guy. So just take it.
Wait, quick one, right? So you work for the government, right? You're in charge of humanitarian aid. Like your job is literally to, there are different kind of jobs. Oh, my job is take care of the road. Oh, my job is like, my job doesn't even I don't intersect with the people directly, even though my job would affect people in long run.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm embezzling money. It's absolutely wrong, right? But you can see the detachment, right? Oh, my job is to set policies, and I really don't. And policies might affect people in the long term, but I don't interact. Your job, you are the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
Yeah.
Like now, they give the job. Say, these people waiting in abject poverty. Let's try and help them and get them out of here. How do you divert the funds allocated to your ministry into your private?
And it was back to back, Abi, because I think the last minister is also in the FCC something,
Yes,
right? So it was back to
yes.
back.
Now that
No,
they use land work.
Wo-
How do you, you
women
know,
helping women.
like, did she ask, did she ask, of course, this is alleged, right? Allegedly. Or this
Allegedly,
is confirmed.
allegedly.
It's
It's alleged.
allegedly.
It's
Uh-huh.
alleged.
Okay, it's all alleged. But what is crazy is that, didn't you just ask your guys, why don't they move this thing? Now they move them out, Abi. They could just tell you, say, we they move them out, no, now straight into like, offshore account PO, or you go run out with the Bitcoin guys. Do you understand with crypto? You get where we they take Joan. She don't even ask anybody. Just transfer straight to you.
Zoom, zoom,
Just transfer straight. Like,
zoom,
fam,
zoom.
come on, man. I'm not impressed.
He says he's not impressed.
Before we even start getting into like all the things she's done, I just want to read to you better Edu's updated Wikipedia page. It says Beta Chimaobim Edu, born 27 October 1986, is a Nigerian politician. She was suspended as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation after an alleged 585 million naira scandal in her ministry. That's it's not me, man. I'm reading Wikipedia now, fam.
It's not like Wiki is a
No, they've updated it for her sharp now.
sharp now. Make it there, but but you know what? Like other people have come to look at this issue critically as they claim. So like Tracker did a graphics of the past like in civil service, and the graphics just to show that in civil service it's been the normal practice to sell money into private. You remember, it's not her private account that she sends this money to. So she can claim to it. She can claim to be. She can claim that it is going that the money was going to maybe a vendor or a contractor or
Where
something
did she send the
like
money
that, right?
to?
She sends it to his another person's private account, not her account, not her private account. Do you guys understand?
My guy,
Yeah.
my brother.
I'm saying this has been the normal practice of the Nigerian civil service. Okay.
Why are you sending how much did she send?
500 million or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you sending that money to a private account? There is nowhere there's no how you should be sending that money to a private account. So even if you have individuals that are going to execute some of the strategies that you have put on, maybe you don't have some campaigns you are running, right? Those monies
So it wasn't possible.
then
Also,
sent
no,
to
sorry, wasn't the Minister
organizations,
of Interior
none
also
of my
wrote into this
accounts.
somehow,
Yeah.
and he had to explain.
Do you
Someone
understand?
to also have to
Anybody that
explain
is
something.
receiving money from a private account is the last mile that is
Yeah.
receiving money. And that is in the case where they are actually sending like money.
To citizens.
Yeah, doing the
You understand?
virtual
To
passport
citizens.
application and
So
everything.
there are other kind of campaigns that will go on. They will go through education. Some will go through like food stuff. Some will be shelter, etc, etc. But you're moving that large amount of money, and the head of finance or whoever who was the person that approved that money.
It has to be her now because she's the minister now. She's the head of the ministry. She
Yeah.
approved it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And
That's
so
why
the person in charge of
everything ends on
finance
her
there,
table.
the person in charge of finance there too will have to approve it, Abi,
Yes, no.
because from instruction from Oga from the top. So what are we really talking about? This is it here now. Grant for vulnerable 2023 grants for vulnerable groups in Akwa Ibom State, 219 million. And it's going to, in fact, the person will get his account, so don't even enter Wala. My people will now they hear this podcast. Somebody call you. and it's funny because I've actually, Steve, shout out to Steve. Person call you. Boy, and you don't know this person. This person, you're not sure. You understand? This person is an acquaintance or not your guy, but not be your guy. Oh boy, I bet you get accounts. Something's wrong. I need someone to send. Please send money to you. Don't send the account to.
No land.
If you
Don't
like
send the
send,
account number. Oh, don't send the account number. This thing is not a joke. Do not send account number. Then una where they stay for Obodo Ibo, you know say it was for there. All the small pounds, all the small euro, all the small Canadian dollar, all the small dollar
Yeah.
wey una dey keep,
It's
they
real
go come
first.
lock your account. You won't be able to make next month's rent. Bro, I know a WhatsApp group, right? I know a WhatsApp group that people, trade, right? It's filled with like people who are in the diaspora, and then there's but they are Nigerians in the diaspora, so they might get naira, they want to buy naira, they want to buy euros or whatever, right? So they trade. It's a group of people in diaspora. Do you know some people got access to that group and started trading money? That went in, they're not in the diaspora, they're not anything. They got access into the group and they started trading money. Guess what now happened? There was now an AML issue, right? And then they tracked some money that this guy had traded with other people, and then they suspended those people's accounts.
damn.
Yes. So people that had their savings that had bought euro, maybe they had bought euro or they had sent euro or they had received, whatever it is, buy or sell, they suspended their accounts and then told them to get in, like the bank will now say get in touch with us to prove that this money you are not part of an anti-money
Yeah.
laundering ring. So even you where you dey change money say I wan buy dollar, trust the person you are buying this thing from. All these things are very important because on paper nobody knows who you are. On paper there's no character, nobody knows your character on paper. It's just numbers here. Oh, these 14 accounts is where this person or where all this money went to. Okay, please block this account. That's
Yes, sir.
all.
Yes, sir. He's
I
the owner
think,
of the interior. He's the owner of the
you
interior.
know.
Every
So
interior.
To let everybody
just
know.
wanted to I just wanted to state that for the record.
Yeah.
You understand? Just wanted to state that for the record.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, now. That's nice, nice. Let's give him another job.
She was suspended, right? I actually don't believe that she was suspended because she committed any like crime. Like I don't I feel she's a scapegoat for like a system. I just feel that they use that to just catch crews. Like they use and just
To
get good
calm to
name,
calm
just
people
PR.
down now. Do you understand?
Yeah, I just
It's
feel
to
say they
calm
just
people
use
down. We
and
know.
calm down. Like I don't know. I want to hear from her. I want to hear what she has to say about it. If
Bro,
it might be a mistake,
I
it might
said
be
it.
because, like I
Equally
said,
last
tracker,
last.
you know, tracker, now
Everybody. No,
tracker
they
did this thing. There's
found
a
one
graphics on
line
Twitter
thing.
that I saw where tracker has been tracking
Bro.
this since 2020, where
You can't be
ministers
efficient
like
and because
money
and
from
be doing all
ministries are
those ones.
supposed to
Doesn't
private
work.
accounts. It's normal. It's actually normal practice in the civil service. It's normal practice in the civil service. So why is it that all of a sudden it became a problem with this woman? Do you understand? So I like I don't know enough of the situation just to say, oh, maybe it's corruption, or I actually don't know enough of the situation. I want to know. I want her to come out and say something. I want the FCC to release a statement. I just want like more info, a detailed info. Well, that's just why I'm not going to be fast to say, oh, maybe she's corrupt or so she has committed a crime. I really want to hear what she has to say. Because
But if she
from
did,
yeah,
if she didn't do anything illegal, she won't be suspended now.
do you think
She's
so?
suspended.
Do you
She's
think so?
suspended.
Do you think
She is
so?
suspended, my brother.
Uh,
She's suspended.
Maybe it's for the optics now because the backlash was huge on social media. So I just believe that the presidency played into it to say, you know what, let's use this just to like calm everybody down and suspend her.
mm.
I believe
It's
that's
like
what
the night
happened.
post. It's
Because
like the
me, I
night
don't
post
believe that
woman.
this government, this present Tinubu government is going to punish any minister for being corrupt in quotes. I don't think it's something they do. So
So you're
I
saying
just want to
because there was immediate outrage, it was civil, how to do
yeah,
it, like
exactly.
it,
That's
yeah.
just how to wade in. And him being Like the president being who a smart person as he is, I think is something is a way to
Yeah,
to capture the goodwill of the people to say, oh, okay, maybe this man means business.
yeah.
Uh,
But
he ain't fooling
when
me.
last did they suspend a minister? This is a big deal now.
It's a big deal now. So that's why I'm saying I
When
just feel
last
it's
was a
for the
minister suspended?
not be only nothing concern that one. I just feel it's for the optics to
Yeah,
doing it. I
unless you
don't
don't
trust
deal
these
with the
people
issues
enough
there. That's why I said
to believe
corruption
that
is
making a good
systematic. It's already in
the
the
right
it's
judgment.
already in the
So
vein.
I don't. I just want to hear more from that woman. I've seen evidence that this thing has been happening in
Yeah,
ministries,
it
not
talks a
just in
lot.
that Ministry of Humanitarian whatever. It has been happening in Nigerian civil service since 2020 when Tracker was doing when Tracker like when they started tracking payments from ministries. You know, so I
Yes,
want to know
now
why this is
that's
different.
the
I want to
best
know why
PR now.
this is
That's the best
this
PR.
became the
Yeah.
time for us to like lose our minds over it to say, oh, enough is enough. Why this woman? Why this particular instance? And why not those payments from 2020? Yeah, but over a different case, not like sending money to a private account.
They talk and they open their Mac laptops. So you see, what are we saying, Oga?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if it works, Nigerians will
yeah,
let you know.
During Obasanjo's time.
yeah.
Wow. Anyways, Bezahedu has responded. She has denied any wrongdoing. The BBC is reporting that her office says she had approved the transfer into a personal account, which was not in her name, but said that it was for the implementation of grants to vulnerable groups.
Yeah, yeah.
She's the youngest minister in Nigeria. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's just 37.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's younger than
Yeah.
Tunji Bosun. All right.
yeah. She's the
Oh, okay.
youngest
I haven't
minister.
thought Bosun was the youngest. Okay, okay, okay. That's cool.
Okay, so the guy has been having really. I felt not that I felt bad for the guy, but I can't because the guy has been having fantastic PR in the last 3 to 4 to 5 months.
I can
You
never
know,
fall for. I can never fall for them. I can never fall for anybody in that ministry because not be today. Remember, didn't I send you guys it's Ugulese tweets from 2019 when they said, "Oh, it has now been finalized. The process for getting new passports is now digital." Blah blah blah. Did I send you guys that tweet? I'm not believing anything from that ministry. I'm not believing anything from that ministry. I'm not believing any shit.
so he's been doing some
For what?
fantastic PR,
For why?
saying they're setting up they're changing the
What's the
operations, they'll be
reason why?
setting up machines. You should not spend more than a few minutes when you go and get your passport. You can actually do it online. I've seen a few tweets of people who applied online, etc, etc. Like and he's been doing really good PR. Of recent, I just saw an interview on channels, the same channels. What's the name of that interview on channels? What's the name again?
Sheung,
Sheon, thank you. Sheon, what's the surname?
I don't know. I'm not good with surnames. That's the other
You're the
thing.
last person to be a journalist, Steve.
Okay, no
Should know
problem.
you now. Sheon
And maybe
Channels.
because it's Yoruba and it's difficult to pronounce. You know, Yoruba names are difficult to pronounce.
Okay, Sheon Okimbaloye.
Well, Sheung Akimbaloye, that's true. That's his
Sheon
name. I remember
Okimbaloye.
now.
Yeah. So, he was interviewing him and asked him that one of the companies. Why are you laughing?
Okay, I know the gist.
You understand? One of the companies
Oh God.
of his companies has actually received contracts or have been awarded, not received, are awarded contracts to execute some of the projects on behalf of the Ministry of, you know, Interior Affairs. It's not the name of the ministry. Ministry of Interior Affairs, Abi. Uh-huh. So Mans now explained that CEO is not more working there. He had already resigned. He brought proper documentation from the CSC to show that he had resigned, and he has also relinquished his position as a director in the company. Sean asked him who now runs the company. He now said, "Oh, it's my wife."
Now, your wife, oh, and and to be very honest, in Nigerian, like it's typical Nigerian man and woman, especially marriage, they're not one. So he has a point.
Yeah, you understand. So he said, see, fam, my hand no did. I'm
Well, I know
focused on
my wife,
fully,
oh, I don't
fully
have any
focused.
clue what's happening.
I have no clue.
Exactly.
And I
And
was
this
waiting for Sean to just ask him that
for where?
are you going to be in charge of profit sharing? Because you are still a okay, but he's not a director anymore, so he's not entitled to profit sharing, right?
He's not entitled to
Technically,
profession technically, but
right?
but
Of course.
sexually and otherwise and legally,
How are
he's
you going?
entitled to share and
Wait.
physically.
Why are you saying sexually? How do you fuck money out? What are you even
Ah,
talking about now?
I can if you give me 6 months, I can write a book about it.
Just 6 months.
It's just 6 months.
Anyways, so yeah, so that's where. Wait, I just went to the
Yeah.
Ministry of Interior's website, and on the homepage, like he's literally there on the homepage, on the landing page. Why?
Like he's the
Why?
owner. Like he's the owner of the. Like he's the owner of the.
No, you guys, I'm
Bro,
sending it to you. WhatsApp. You will laugh now.
bro, when Kanu is now the chairman of Imba, right?
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
So I don't know what happened. I think someone I don't remember what really happened. But it's Imba Twitter handle, like Imba social media, the communication team released a statement in appreciation of the chairman. That since the chairman came in, the chairman has been diligent at work. He has been hardworking. They want to really appreciate him. That Imba wants to appreciate the chairman, for everything he has been doing since he came.
Mm.
And I'm like, what kind of ask is this? Like,
Yeah.
when you see a situation, you just know that they're doing this to make the guy happy. That's
Yeah,
something like this. That's something like this website
Yeah.
too.
There were.
The guy will
I'm
design
not a.
them. I think we don't enter office one day. Say, who did this? That's nice job. Nice job. That's nice job.
It's like I'm not a fan of startups wishing their CEO happy birthday.
Yeah, on Twitter. Yeah, I don't like
And
it.
you wish the CEO happy birthday, but you don't wish any of
You
the other
don't wish
staff
any other
members
person
happy
happy
birthday.
birthday. Yeah.
You see.
Like the one, do you know the one do you know the one I'm a fan of? Where you are, when a one man company is wishing their CEO happy birthday on Twitter. Thank you for all you do. So apparently, that is the CEO doing that.
Oh my god, the CEO is the social media manager.
Oh,
Anyways, so now there we did. So again, it was now like as the whole Beta Edu story started to unfold. It was now reported that there's some connection between that they like the company owned by the wife, the Minister of Interior's wife, received some contracts
from better I
from.
do.
So everything is just connected, my brother.
Just connected. That's the person you think is going to make a change in the passports, getting passport and renewal process. Yeah.
No, I mean things can still be efficient.
Is that?
Things can still be efficient.
I, the thing is that I don't think you can be efficient more than you
No.
can use your own efficiency, personal efficiency, to bring down a system. See, this passport thing, it's a
Yeah.
smooth process, right? It's a very smooth process. It's a very sweet process, like very sweet and quick, and like the normal process of taking passports. Like it's not a
Yeah.
big deal. It's not, even if it's not like overly digital. If they want to do it the normal way, it's easy. But the reason why it's not normal is not because of the. It's just because of the people within the system who want to
Yeah,
take
these are
advantage of
cynical.
it.
These are cynical people. We
So
don't
there's
trust
no there's
ourselves.
no efficiency. There's no efficiency that will come and
So you just
override.
put roadblocks.
Yes, there's no efficiency that will come and override corrupt-minded people
Can't blame them. Like just to
are
question
behind the
everything from the
systems. It's
government. Like
impossible.
we don't trust these people.
One man cannot do it. Already, there's a rumor, there's a report. I saw it on Twitter that if you mention that man's name in the immigration office, that they hate him because of what he's trying to do.
Because he's trying to
Yeah,
change things and make it more efficient.
I'm making more efficient. You don't understand me. Then this popular guy on Twitter, he tweeted something. He said, "Would it shock you to know that Nigerian immigration officers receive less? Their salary is like their pay is less than the Nigerian police."
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, that's what he said.
question with people outside world.
Damn.
Yeah, Nigerian
Yeah.
immigration, their pay is less than Nigerian because Nigerian immigration, Nigerian immigration is technically a security agency like the police.
Yeah.
They man the borders, they make sure. That's why they do passports, right?
Yeah.
So you can see why they're not like really why policemen can actually earn more than the people in police force can
Some
actually
men
earn more
don't
than
apply
them,
go CBN
right?
now.
So what do you expect?
Some
in
men
that
don't
kind of
apply go
system? So I
CBN
don't
now.
think any type of efficiency
Money,
can
we
come
are
and
we are
override
moving
that kind
money.
of system
We are moving money.
that's filled with corrupt people. Yeah. There's I don't anytime the system. Anytime I see him on
Still getting connect.
anytime I see him on TV talking, and I just have a problem with people who just like talking. Just do the when you do this thing and it's working, and nobody will
They will
like you
sing
don't
your
need
praises.
yeah, people will sing your praises
next
for you. If I
time.
go and renew a passport now, it's simple. I'll come on Twitter and say it. You do the same thing, you go on Twitter and say it. That's the biggest marketing anybody can do. You going to Sheun's this thing channels and Rise TV to talk about the process of what you are doing. It's just PR. You just want
No
the
vex, no
president to see you
vex, no
working.
vex.
You are just this is equivalent of people who just come to
Police
work
are
meetings
police
and
are
just
winning
talk
journalists. No vex.
because
Oh
you
my
you don't
god.
understand. It's the same thing. It's the same. It's the same thing now. It's the same thing now.
Hmm.
It's the same thing now.
You're actually right. The best PR is actually your work.
It's word of, yeah. It's
Because if you
work. It's
got
word
his
of
work,
mouth.
if you got his work going, right? If things became more
Efficient
efficient,
enough. Yeah, and
if
people
they were
start talking
able to
about it.
publish more passports
Thank
and there were
you.
no hiccups,
Then the
bro,
numbers you can come and say
the,
this is the evidence in
the
6 months that I've
complaints
been
then,
minister. This is the number of passport that we've
yes,
done. This is how easy it has been. The reason why we have this many number is because it's easier, and
you can now do
that will be
your.
collaborated with the word of mouth by Nigerians, maybe on Twitter, on social media, and on the streets.
See, what you are trying to say is that once
Yeah,
he
the
has
daughter.
done with that, at the end of the year, you can now do your Nigerian immigration rapt.
That's it. That's it. Now evidence choke.
What's that? Nigerian immigration rapt
That's
this
it.
year.
This year, oh,
You
see
should
passport, oh, see the minutes, see the
hundred
days it.
thousand.
Yes, this 100,000 took an average of 4 days for the average Nigerian. Like
Do you
data
understand?
stats. We go say, more this man clap for him.
Yeah, Nigerian immigration rapt.
That's
Now what
all.
you supposed to do, my
But
brother?
I believe that pay because you don't see immigration officers. More. Some of I believe that pay thing. I God go help us.
Now God, oh, na only
Yep,
God
yep,
fear
yep.
us. Yeah. So, did you hear? Did you see the news? I don't know if you guys saw it. They said some of the offices of the CBN will be moving down to Las Gidi.
I didn't read it, so I don't know I don't know the purpose. I don't know the purpose behind it. I didn't read the story. I don't know. Maybe
What's the
Osagi
reason
read the
why?
story. I don't know.
I'm clicking it now. It says so. Punch is reporting. Let me read the full report for you. This is Osagie, correspondent, political correspondent, local news. Reporting for Loose Talk. CBN decongest head office, moves the department to Lagos. All right. The Central Bank of Nigeria is set to transfer some of its departments to Lagos State. This was stated in an internal memo made available to Punch Online on Saturday. The move, according to an official of the CBN who spoke on condition of anonymity rather, is to decongest the Apex Bank's head office. Although some staff members of the bank have reportedly resisted the transfer and claimed that it is motivated by tribal sentiments, the source said it is for their safety and increased productivity. What is happening now at the Central Bank of Nigeria is likened to a company with over 500 staff and say 200 used to go to work in other
Gunfire.
states and return to their head office. It is not out of place for the company to relocate them fully to that state to work and increase their safety and productivity, he said. The official stated that only some departments of the Apex Bank, including the Bank Supervision Department, were affected by the transfer. He stated that the move is meant to increase the productivity of the affected staff while also cutting costs and ensuring their safety. Punch Online gathered through the official that the department penciled down for relocation by the CBN Governor Yemi Cardoso are banking supervision, other financial system institutions supervision, consumer protection department, payment system management department, and financial policy regulations department. Most of the bank's headquarters are in Lagos. The CBN usually sends staff from Abuja to work in Lagos for like 1 or 2 months and return to the head office. Being on the road all the time is not safe for them and not also cost efficient for the bank. We know that anybody leaving for their comfort would feel the pain. That is why some of the affected workers are complaining, but I can assure you that it is for their good, he said. He also noted that the carrying capacity of the Abuja office is 3,000, but the staff strength is 4,000, which is a threat to the facilities at the head office.
Yeah, I still resist to it. To be very honest, operating like this or CBN operation is very very expensive. For example, you see these what they call bullion van, like when they you know when they deliver money to banks and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Um,
Who
the
pays for
staff
that
that
cost, by the way?
is that
Who pays for that cost when the bullion van leaves CBN and heads over to the bank?
CBN now because
Okay.
part of the operation, CBN's job is to distribute cash for banks and Nigerian citizens.
Okay.
So, for example, like part of the cost is that they pay staff a particular set of money for every trip, right? But you see some, especially in the east, you see some staff. It's ridiculous amount of money, like 200K per trip or so. Like
Wow.
it's ridiculous amount of money. But you see some staff of CBN, right, not agreeing to go on such trips because of how insecure the roads are, and especially because people are carrying bullion van money. People they know that is money, even with security. Back in the days, you guys remember now that there used to be like bullion van robberies everywhere. It has
Um,
reduced now. It has reduced now, but people have that fears of. I don't know whether not today it will happen. And when robbers come and rob bullion van, they are prepared. Those kind of robbers, they're not the gen 1, 2, 3 robbers. Like these guys are prepared with ammunition, so they're always very scared. So I understand the
Or as
CBN
intense,
looking for
or
ways
as intense as it should be.
to minimize like security risks for the staff and something like that. And Lagos being the commercial capital of this city, it makes sense that CBN will have most of the operational decks in this city. It does not. It's not a story that triggers any alarm for me. Right,
Yeah.
I understand if it triggers any alarm for anybody. I don't trust this Nigerian. I don't trust
Yes,
the Nigerian
well,
government. I don't trust the presidency. I have like a very, very. I have like an opinion about him that is not going
Osagie,
to change.
let
So
me just say
any
something.
decisions that any information like this that comes out, I
Yeah.
understand why people can be triggered, right? But me knowing how the CBN, just getting like having little
This
knowledge of how
person
the CBN operates, I understand why they have to be there. Some major
it
parts
can
of the
happen to
city have to
me
be in Lagos. It makes sense.
Makes sense. Very well said. Very well said. It's from an operational point of view. So I know,
in Abuja.
well,
In
there
Abuja.
are other,
Yeah,
there are other.
there are other political like maneuverings around it too. Also,
No, I mean, I'm just saying that
They can find
feedback.
them, bro.
Other people are
It's
giving
just too
feedback
of course,
simple.
other people we've seen
from.
the feedback. Other people, yeah,
Yeah,
because Lagos
but I
is
always like
City Boy
to.
is president now, so some people are
Yes,
seeing it
now.
as a
And
move,
you have
as a
cell
move to
towers
like
everywhere, my guy. They
really
have
put
me.
some
Don't they have me and BVN
like really
attached to
Yeah, but
them
what's
inspire
the
the
difference
to
foundation
in
the
of
bloody
Lagos to
SIM
Lagos?
cards?
But what's the difference?
it's easier for the staff. It's easier for the staff to like travel, like meet with the bank.
Yeah,
Like they said,
no,
bank
no, that's what
headquarters
I'm
are in
saying.
Lagos. Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm saying from the cynical point of view, if you
Okay, okay,
think
okay, okay.
let's
Yeah,
go
Yes.
to
yeah,
it,
yeah.
I'm like, what's the advantage?
Osagi
As
in a normal
Is
for
there any
him, Abi,
advantage?
for
Is there any
him,
advantage?
for
Yeah,
him.
if they
yeah,
say,
there's
oh,
no
you're
value to
moving
the
CBN
Nigerian
to
life.
Lagos,
There's no
like,
value
what's
to
the
the Nigerian
What's the
life.
advantage?
advantage?
It's
Because CBN is a
minus
federal, is a
5 or
federal
minus
government
10.
property. If it's not the
And you know
presidency, it's
what?
only the presidency that will have.
In a normal country,
Nigerians
this
are
is
just
where
simple people. You
your
can't
commander in
you
chief will
can't
call
believe
all
it.
the service, all
You
the army
can't.
chiefs, all the
Somebody just
what they call
diverted
them,
how much to
security
the
chiefs,
private
So the
account.
and tell
private
all of them, look
account.
them in the eye.
Do you
If you
understand?
do not rescue these
I'm
people in
not.
72 hours,
Can't
please
blame
hand in your
them.
resignations
I'm not.
immediately.
I'm
Yeah.
going
There
to be
should not be
paranoid. In fact, I'm
any.
dealing with paranoia and trauma at the same exact
Bro,
time.
this is red alert.
Uh,
This
Yeah.
is what they call red alert. Like security levels on red. Yeah. I mean, like, in America when they say, oh, security alert has gone to DEFCON 5 or DEFCON 3 or DEFCON 2. That's the level we should be in this country right now, where kidnappers are entering the supposedly safest city in Nigeria and they're taking people and they're killing people one by one. And this is why I love the French. French people know they waste time with this kind of thing.
It's not easy. CBN is not working in like the CBN operation is really really very very interesting. Like for example, if you are going on these type of trips as a CBN staff, you don't carry your phone because the security guys like the mopos and the DSS
you can be
officials are
tracked, all those things. Yeah.
exactly, they don't want you to even have communications with the outside world because they don't know who you are calling. Maybe you are even arranging people to come and rob them. It's also like it's a very very strict process of how they operate. So if for example you have a wife or a husband that works with the CBN, anytime you're going on this road trip, you don't know how to reach him or her. So yeah, these are stuff that people don't realize that it happens. Where they apply now? Where they apply? If you want to apply to the CVN, apply in June, July, August. June, July, August, September. That's the time frame.
Why should you? Why during that period? Please, can you enlighten
Is
us?
there? I don't know. It's sort of calendar or something they operate in. You know, everybody has their own.
Uh,
That's the information I. That's the information I have. But I don't. I might be wrong. I might be right. You know, I'm not. I don't work there. I don't know anybody there. It's just small information as a journalist. That's all.
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, because you
I
said
hear
I'm not
you.
a journalist. You said I'm not a journalist because I don't know the Shemun's son name. I'm trying to prove to you that I'm a journal. I'm a real journal. I have like solid contacts in in the most important financial institution in the country. Give me my
CBN.
props, bro. Come on, man.
I hear you. I hear you. Take out one
Okay.
gidigba.
I don't receive
One
them.
gidigba.
I receive one guinea one.
All right. Talking about, you mentioned security now. Talking about security. What is trending right now? Right now, as we record this, is the family that was kidnapped in Abuja, and the kidnappers have demanded. Right now, I think, yeah, the kidnappers have actually demanded a ransom, and they're raising a ransom. But Steve just told me before we started recording that they killed one of the family members.
Yeah.
Shout out to
The
Wikipedia.
gist is that they
How much are they
kidnapped
demanding? It was
60
50
million, Abby.
million.
Yeah, 60 million.
Then they said they're taking it to 100 million.
No, Wiki do
Right?
updates. Nah, that one. Wiki do updates sharp sharp. No, they
That's
play
what I'm
around.
hearing. This is happening in Abuja, by the way, the capital. Okay, this is story on Punch. Bandits kill one of 6 sisters abducted in Abuja. A young lady identified as Najiba has been reportedly killed by gunmen who abducted her and her 5 other sisters in Abuja. Punch Metro learns that Najiba and her sisters were abducted on January 9 alongside their father. It was gathered that the gunmen later released their father, asking him to go get 60 million naira as ransom for the release of her daughters, of his daughters rather, before Friday, January 12th. In a bid to raise the money, Nigerians were urged to donate whatever they had into the
Well,
bank
now it
account,
is
but
abnormal.
not
It is
enough
now it
money
is
was raised
abnormal.
as of
So
Friday.
yes.
Consequently, the hoodlums reportedly killed the oldest of the 6 girls, Najiba, and dumped her body somewhere for her parents to bury. The former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Issa Ali Pantami, confirmed the killings of Najiba on Saturday night. Pantami said he had spoken with the father of Najiba over the remaining kidnapped girls. Earlier, earlier, a former aide to the former President Muhammadu Buhari, Bashir Ahmed, called on the police to take necessary actions on the matter. Right, so they've tagged.
Should I
Before we go
shock
into
you?
this,
Should I shock you before you go into that? Should I shock
yeah,
you?
shock me.
Apparently, the younger brother to the father of the girls they were kidnapped took
Yeah,
police to
their
the
uncle,
scene,
right?
their uncle, and he was killed right in the police van.
Yeah, so he went to report to the police,
To the
right?
police,
The
and the
police, they
police
all
now
went in
went
the
to the
van.
scene.
Yeah,
Yes,
went to the scene, and the what do
the
you call
exchange
them?
of gunfire.
The
Yeah,
gunmen, yeah, in the
engaged
exchange,
in
they
battle.
killed him.
Yeah, they killed
So they've
him.
killed the uncle, they've killed the
Yes,
first
they
girl.
killed the girl.
They have 4 other
Yeah.
girls.
Four other daughters. And you
Mm-hmm.
have, yeah, we had a PRO of police who was on Twitter saying that,
Mm-hmm.
That's
if
where I wanted to go to.
Nigerian police want to get you, just give them 2 days. No matter where you are, they will trace you. And
Guess what,
you can dedicate your energy
gents,
to go and fish out just lover or whatever the name is. Like
and
this
parade
thing
them.
is and parade them. You had the energy. You had the energy to do a press conference to say that no grief for anybody is not something that you consign. Like this thing is just Nigeria is just a ridiculous country. And I'm sorry to say, you know, no, like our presidency has to, because you know the problem, eh? There's so much nuances these days on Twitter. Oh, when you talk about security, oh, what are the governors doing?
Yeah,
Did
this
you
is know the
ask
hear
that
this
during
one. They
Jonathan's
go
time?
take everything come out.
Even the current president once tweeted that the everything about security and stops at the president's table, and mentioned and called Jonathan's name. What is he doing? It took this man 2 days to respond, to make a statement on Plato's death. on the date in Plateau State.
Clean
Right
amount.
now, this thing is happening in Abuja. Not it didn't just start now.
Yeah.
Punch
Now, months
reported
ago,
on
yeah.
24th, on 23rd of December that they kidnapped a man, his wife, and their son and a young son in their house in Abuja. Till today, I've not gotten an update. I was searching, I was googling that story. There was no update. The only thing about that story was just what happened. We don't know if they paid the ransom. We don't know if they're still in the with the kidnappers. We don't know what has happened. That was on 23rd of December. Now this one has happened again. People stay in their own houses and kidnappers getting access to them in the capital city of Nigeria.
Okay, where do I start from? Before I go into, I want to just say that this is happening in the capital. So here's where I want to start from. The problems in Nigeria, like what we are facing,
All of them.
this is what I hate most.
Dang.
I'm trying to articulate myself. What I hate most is that we're actually in a slow crash, right?
Is this slow?
I'll tell you, it's
Okay.
slow. It's still a slow crash. You know why? Because we're still accommodating things.
Yeah. we're
There's
still
no sharp
managing it.
reaction from us. Do you get what I'm saying? And because of that slow crash, things are worsening, but we are not reacting as fast as possible. Do you get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Thank you. So this lady,
Nobody said
5
it.
people were kidnapped,
Yeah.
6 actually. They released the man, they killed the uncle. People are not on the streets of Abuja, right? They've not left. People are in church. Do you understand what I'm
Finish.
saying?
People are in church now.
People have not left everywhere in Abuja and gathered in front of the government house.
Everybody do
Right.
do diligence.
said-
diligence. So before
Do
you
you,
start to move money
hold on,
anywhere.
Ayo. And do you understand what I'm saying? People have not said, wait first. If this can happen to this person and happen to that person, can happen to me. Everybody
continue.
gather now, fill up the streets, no movements, no retreat, no surrender, nothing. Do you understand? Like stand still. Then the government will say, oh, okay, let's swing into action. Do you want to tell me they can't find these kidnappers?
Again.
Do you want to talk? Because how are they communicating with these people?
We can't read the
They're
access of
communicating through
corruption
phones,
because
right?
it is already inbred in the Nigerian system. It's going to be it's going to be like open heart surgery. It's not something you take Panadol for or you put plaster on. It is
So-
deep surgery. It's chemotherapy. You need to burn the
For
shit out
me,
of your body.
The way I
So
see
it continue
is that
happening. They'll catch some people, but
the
it's already in
security
the system.
agencies don't
So how
care.
do you prevent it coming to the system again? How do you kill it in the system? That's the big deal. That's the big question in Nigeria. Next 3 or 4 years, they'll say arrest more people at the end of the day. But not the corruption level is dwindling at all.
That's how I see it. Like the value of the average Nigerian is now
How
in
do you see it?
negative. Is now in the negative.
But the key thing is, did she do it or she did not do it?
This is happening in the capital. No, this other Amber Alert goes
no.
off. Yeah, if it's in another country, the Amber Alert has gone off. Everybody, see, an Amber Alert goes off. Everybody leaves their house to go and look for. Yeah, you were saying.
So I said this is why I like the French people, right? They increased the age of retirement in France, and people came out, shut down Paris, shut it down.
Immediately.
Macron could not move, right? We in this country, and I hate, it's like I don't want to make it look as if I'm picking on religion, but if this lady was shot dead, right, and people are in churches on Saturday, or people definitely go to mosque whenever they go to, that can't change anything, right? We need an intense response from the citizens of Nigeria in Abuja saying that this cannot happen. This cannot happen. But I've come to a conclusion that the country that we have right now is what we've built or designed, is what we deserve as Nigerians, because we are too lax, when it comes to governance and the kind of people we put there. And when we put anybody in power, this is what you get. The Nigerian government elite are actually doing their job, because their job is not to protect Nigerians. Their job is for selfish interests. Until the day we realize that the people at the top, we are the ones that determine who becomes president, who becomes governor, who becomes minister, who becomes senator, and we appoint people or vote people that care from our society, then Nigeria will change. But all we do, right? Look at an innocent woman was killed, and everybody's smiling. We all go to church, we do our watchword for the year, we come back, we eat rice, and we go on. No, and the president will not feel anything because if the people are not complaining, that means they must like it. They know how to manage it like that.
Yeah,
And we
no
go on.
sense
No sense of outrage. So
of humanity.
as,
Like we don't
as,
have.
as an elected leader,
Yeah.
why will I not be sweating?
You
In
can't now.
America, Joe Biden will be sweating because he knows that this re-election that is coming, he has lost it. There are
It's like
consequences.
The mayor, first of all, the mayor of that town
He's fired.
Has
No,
lost it.
that one.
Yeah.
See, the police chief of that town has resigned immediately because you fucked up. Immediately.
It's like you.
you
It's like you having a job, right? Sorry.
Yes.
Why you continue?
we have
Like
a
having
minister
a
of,
job, eh?
we have the minister of police affairs. Nada. IG, nothing but that with anything.
in the capital.
Wike would rather carry his band and be dancing.
In Port Harcourt,
capital.
he's busy. He's busy
I'm
with
big-
part also.
I'll be chasing football up and down and will not see anything. I will not see that, okay, the security architecture of FCT is bad. How do we do something about this? And the reason why I can get away with this is because we don't care. We'll go to church. Pastor Debo will tell us, oh, the Lord will protect us under his canopy. Somebody say hallelujah, and we'll do that. But the Muslims will go and do that, and everybody's fine. And as long as it doesn't hurt me and my family, it's good. But guess what? Nigeria will happen to everybody, not turn by turn. When it rains on everybody. Bro, it's coming for everybody. Just wait. It's just a matter of time. That's it. And because we are lax, nothing's going to change at the end of the day. So we can cry and cry and cry. We'll complain, we'll tweet. But until we put boots on ground, nothing's going to happen.
So the thing has now entered a catch-22, right? The whole scenario, because they are raising funds for them on Twitter, right? And as they are raising funds for them from Twitter, as you know, the popularity of the crowdfunding goes on,
Yeah.
the kidnappers will start increasing the money.
Yeah, because they can see it now. And they'll be like, how high can we go? Like, okay, let's do 200 mil. Since everybody cares about them.
Bro, no, they've been kidnapping people. Do you understand? This is not new. This is not a new story.
Yeah, it's a
People are being
syndicate.
kidnapped. What is crazy here is that they broke into the house. There was burglary proof. They broke into the burglary proof and they took everybody. This is wild. And I hear that where this happened in Abuja is supposed to be a safe space.
And you know
Safe
that
place in Abuja.
if anybody has been reading Metro stories for the last 1.5 years now, Abuja has been having a high number of troubling criminal cases where armed robbers go to an estate, kidnap people go to a shop and they're robbed. And this is supposedly the safest state in the whole of the country. And nobody.
Capital.
It's the capital.
President lives there.
Bro, I know in America, they check the crime rate. The police chief of every state in America lives by the crime rate. The crime rate has to drop. Whether by hook or by crook, it has to drop. But we have AIGs, nobody's compelling anybody, nobody has target points, nobody has KPIs. You just get appointment, you do small press conference, you keep laughing to the bank, you arrest some poor innocent people on the road, you say that is, and nobody knows whether that is or guys that were just working at night and you just arrested them. Meanwhile, there is no week where I go out where the police doesn't stop the car I'm in. Because the Nigerian police is fixed.
They're in Lagos looking for money.
They're in Lagos looking for illegal money instead of them doing that
Looking
police
for money.
thing.
That's why when they went for as a punishment in the security agency forces, as a punishment, they post you out of this like cities where you can get money, and they post you to the north. That's punishment. Because they know you can't get money, nobody will bribe you, nobody will give you money in the north. That's how they punish people. So you see policemen in Asaba, Benin, Owerri, Lagos, just chilling,
Chopping life.
money. And just look at it now. If you're in a job, right, and you just resumed, and your boss says, "Oh no, there's no KPI, there's no target. Just work. Just work."
Bro, you be swinging it down. You just be flossing.
Then because you just newly joined, you'll be enthusiastic in the first month. The second month, maybe there's no review. There's no monthly review.
Yes.
Oh, just work, and you just down tools in the second month. No implications.
Yeah, no
Third month,
implication,
same thing. Fourth month, my brother, from the seventh month, you're not doing anything in that company.
You're not even going to come to the company again.
Like
You
you
go to
you will
work.
just be there, you just be expecting your salary by a month end. Like it's just automatic human, no matter how hardworking you are as a human, it's just automatic human interaction. That's how we humans are. When there's no consequences for any action, you continue to take those actions. So what are the KPIs of a minister? Like for
Yeah.
example, now you are appointing me Wiki as a minister. How many percent crime rate are you giving him
Yes.
in a year or in 2 years? Are these KPIs? Are they public? Are they public? Like are they in public
Yes.
view?
Can we access
Like
it
these are,
publicly?
can you access it public? Like these are things that we should be. These are questions we should be asking ourselves. If
Yeah.
we as citizens cannot set this pace, we're not ready. That's the
It's
point. We're
not
not
right
ready.
to have a country
Yes, we're
that
not
is
ready. We're not
responsible,
ready to
that is
have a country.
working.
And you know why we're not ready to have a country?
Yeah.
It lies. That's it is essentially this is who we are as a people. We don't
Yeah.
care about anything. We don't. We're like I say. I always say it like this. Nigeria is a very mediocre.
Very mediocre country. Very
We're a
mediocre. You have
very
to say
mediocre
it.
set of people. Is standard, and that's why the country is in this state. You can't tell me that we are highly functional people,
We are
intelligent
not.
people, and we have this type of country. It's a lie. It's a lie. And it speaks for himself now. It's like saying it's it's like having a company where in the KPI and in the company, in the individual KPIs, everybody is an A performer, and the company is not performing well. So
Yeah.
what are the people performing? Do
They're
you
not performing
understand? So
anything.
Nigeria is a low quality country. It's
Yeah.
like it's mediocre.
And we deserve,
This
this is the country.
mediocre.
This is the country we deserve.
And because the citizens are mediocre, that's why they can't fight for high quality governance. You
Yeah.
can't fight for what you don't have. It's simple.
Or you don't find what you
No.
don't believe in. This can happen, bro.
People, if you go to Abuja now, everybody's in church, just praising God that is not them. I'm sure that testimony people will be paying today. Thank you for saving me
Bro,
from kidnapping.
our neighbors will be saying, and those people came to our estate, but it's not us they kidnapped. Is that no? Come on. You can see functional countries. Osage, I've checked it out. Functional countries don't come by magic. They come by citizens activating certain things in their country and demanding the highest quality from the people they voted into power. Simple as that. Once
If
we don't have that as
there's a
Nigeria,
large protest this morning, if there's a large protest this morning, that is when you see your show-face president who will not act, do a press
yes,
conference.
my baba be
and say,
sweating because he knows it's the real shit.
I'm not sweating now. The commissioner of police in Abuja is not sweating because
Not sweating.
nobody's bothering
Mr.
him.
Police Affairs is not sweating now. They're all eating, they're all digesting, they're chilling.
Bro, you know what?
brand new
What I was
cars.
going through. I was going through that police spokesman, the PRO Twitter this morning. Someone
Bro,
asked him about.
I have
Someone
it
asked
here.
him.
I want to read a couple of things from
Yeah,
it now.
someone asked him about the killing in Plateau State. He said, "Man, that this country is very complex. That in cases like this, they allow the leaders to speak so that to maintain peace." What does that tell you?
They've abandoned their duties now.
Just to tell you that, bro, these people know what's happening, but they can't take actions just because of the politics behind it, because of the
The guy tweeted, "This is Prince Olumuyiwa Adejobi. PPROs are not in the operations department. Be guided. All they do is attend to issues, communicate, and bridge the gap between the organization and its public. That PRO on X and in the news is the one doing what he has been appointed to do. All complaints are referred to relevant units to act. Many here just like to exhibit hatred for the police and are not concerned about addressing the general problems and challenges of policing the country. Are you not part of the security problems in Nigeria? Ask yourself before you claim holiness on social media. He who preaches equity must come with clean hands."
Osage,
Nigeria, let me
continue.
tell you something, guys. In real time, in our generation, we saw Nigeria turn to the African countries we used to laugh at
yes,
Yes, now.
yeah,
And the other African
yeah.
countries are picking up now.
and
Yep.
read stories about and say, "Oh man, that shit is wild, though. Is that what's
Yeah.
going on in that? Wow, that can't happen in Nigeria.
Yes,
That's what the guy somebody just came and pulled out a pump action and shot a politician. Just shot somebody in broad daylight, and they didn't arrest him. Wow, that's crazy. That can't
should I
happen in
give you a
Nigeria.
clear example of that? I have Uncle Prince, who's a police, he's retired now, who was a police officer. I was born. I was growing up to see him going on peacekeeping missions in Liberia, in Congo. In then 10 years, 20 years, 15 years later, I was also there to see him going to peacekeeping missions in Nigeria. Do you understand? Like what he used to go for in African countries, he started going to them. Like he started getting the same situation in Nigeria.
Yes,
That's
no.
how. That's when I started. I knew that
You
the
don't
country
be.
is. Remember, now, remember when we used to laugh at countries where citizens could not have access to their own money. Do you remember, Osagie?
Yes, yes, no.
We used to laugh
Bro,
at it on. We used to be on WhatsApp saying, more see life."
bro, we
Bro, we
used to
saw it.
like,
It happened to us,
I
100%.
yeah, we used to laugh at African countries and say, man, is that what's happening here? Well, what kind of inflation is happening in Zimbabwe? That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah,
You
almost
know,
We'll
Zimbabwe
not
was the
laugh
butt of
about it
jokes.
again.
Zimbabwe used to
Oh,
be the butt of jokes. But look at
or
us
be like,
now.
oh damn, that guy has been there. How old is he? He's over 80. How can someone over 80 be ruling the country? That's
yeah.
crazy.
How can a president? How can someone have a president and the person cannot? Is not physically. You can see him struggling physically. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us.
Look, whoever
Look
thought
at
will be
us.
here.
Whoever
The
thought
other
will
day,
make it.
Coco
Whoever thought will
DR
make
and
it.
Angola, and everybody's looking at Nigeria and I said, whoever thought you'd be here with
Whoever
us?
told
Look at
you
us
with
now.
us?
See,
Look at
the
us.
simple lesson
Spider-Man
here.
pointing me.
The simple lesson here is that Nigerians don't deserve a good country. That's all. Because when bad things happen, we do not react accordingly.
That's painful.
So it's
That's
finished.
painful.
So yeah.
That's painful. That's very painful.
Osage,
Right now,
we can't
Ayo,
construct
right now,
roads.
in fucking Abuja right now,
Yeah.
everybody should be on the street right now saying if nothing is done today,
Oh man, this country is not
everywhere
going
is
anywhere.
fasting.
Nothing's
Because
happening.
let me tell you something. They can find these guys in less than 12 hours.
Bro,
How would a high functioning set of people behave? A high functioning set of people will look at it critically and say, you know what? If they kidnap these people and they crowdfund for them, right? And they pay these kidnappers, tomorrow it might be me. Like if you look at it as a high function, as a high thinking individual, as a thinking individual,
You
you
want
think
to put
about
a
it, think
gap
about
there
it and say,
immediately.
yeah, think about it and say, oh, if they kidnap my neighbor like this and they crowdfund for them and they give it to the kidnappers, tomorrow they come for me now and they crowdfund for me again.
Because
No,
if the kidnapping is successful, if the ransom payout is successful,
then
bro, it's very simple now.
it's very
This is
simple
business
now.
now. What are you saying?
And you know what? The
Ah,
next another set of kidnappers will look at, oh, this thing is working. Oh,
my
let's
brother,
go.
the
That's
kidnappers will
how.
do the scrum master in the kidnapping team is going
Yep.
to now discuss when they are doing sprints. Or
Yes.
in our last sprints, we actually, in their daily stand-up, they will now do the daily stand-up and say, oh, in our last sprint, the kidnapping was successful and we're also successful in getting the ransom. So
That's
we're
it.
going for our next sprint in the next
Yeah.
2 weeks. I don't know. Do you stop something that is successful?
no,
No,
you doing it now.
no.
I'm not know that. Oh, there's crowdfunding now. Oh, let's start going. Let's start going.
Nigerians will help
For
them.
everybody who has donated, thank you very much for donating, right? I just want to tell you something. And for those who haven't donated, guess what? There are two robberies going on here. The first is they kidnap people and ask for ransom, Abi.
Yeah.
The second is that do you know that those kidnappers, those gunmen, they robbed Nigerians?
Yeah,
For
they've
every
robbed Nigerians.
Nigerian that
Oh, they've robbed
donated,
you and I. Yeah.
Yes.
they robbed. They robbed. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They not only kidnap people, they now robbed Nigerians of 60 because it's robbery.
It's
It's true
robbery
because
now.
they didn't come to my house with guns. But
You are
guess
paying
what?
ransom now. If you are paying ransom, that's robbery
You're
now.
paying a
You that
ransom.
you
That's
drop
robbery.
1K, you that
Yeah.
you drop
You've
100,000,
been
they
robbed.
robbed you by
And
proxy.
now, what is your response after being robbed?
To being robbed.
Do you say, we thank God for life, or we like,
Yes,
let's go to the fucking streets and stop this bullshit?
I'm sorry, but if we're not good, like, and that's why I tell people will put their head inside this church thing in Nigeria. Church. The people you are looking up to, they are just scamming you. I cannot be
They're not here.
and I'll put this in air quotes. I cannot be a man of God today
It's
Osage.
holding church
impossible.
service.
Osage,
I can't. It's
my
impossible.
conscience will not. Even if I hold church service, what I will preach about
It's impossible, especially in
not
Abuja.
about Old Testament or New Testament. I'll tell you people, there's no church service today. Go out and protest. Finish as that. That's all. There's none. There's not like God says the Lord. Go out and protest. Thank you. End of
I don't want
service.
to stop believing in Nigeria, but it's
Oh, me, I've stopped. Oh. I've stopped. Really. Now I don't even care about Nigeria anymore.
this thing pay me off. They killed that girl. They killed that lady. They killed her.
Hey, hold on.
They just killed her. Do you understand? You're sleeping in your house this minute, the next day they're killing you to prove a point that if you don't come back with money, you are dead.
You are dead.
You're staying in a city where you pay your tax, you work hard. Everything you buy is taxed. Do you
Even
understand?
the, even the money you collect from POS is taxed.
Man, the average Nigerian life is worthless.
But guess what? We love it. We love it.
Our minister drinks wine of 1 point something million. Whiskey.
On on Friday
He
we go
says
to
himself now. He said he drinks like
yes,
whiskey, 50-year-old whiskey. He brags with it.
yes.
Let's move on.
You know?
Let's
Yeah.
move on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nigeria of the realities, man. It's now we designed this Nigeria. It's not as if some people came to force us. This is the Nigeria of our reality, of our design.
Oh no. Let's move on. This is painful. This is painful. I don't even know what the security intelligence. I'm just going to read something that shout out to somebody Dyer. I think he's a friend of the show that put this out. Ade Dyer. He took a screenshot, and I think this is from Wikipedia. He did a screenshot of what a failed state is, and I'll just read it out. A failed state is a state that has lost its ability to fulfill fundamental security and development functions, lacking effective control over its territory and borders. Common characteristics of a failed state include a government incapable of tax collection, law enforcement, security assurance, territorial control, political or civil office staffing, and infrastructure maintenance.
Yep. It's a clear definition now.
That describes one country, one useless country in West Africa that calls itself the giant of Africa.
My brother, did you see those characteristics?
It is us
Did you
now.
hear those things? Let me read this thing again. A failed state is a state that has lost its ability to fulfill fundamental security and developmental functions, lacking effective control over its territory and borders. Common characteristics of a failed state include a government incapable of tax collection, law enforcement, security assurance, territorial control, political or civil office staffing, and infrastructure maintenance. See, we have discussed at least 4 of these things on this episode today.
Osagie, let me bust your brain. Right? Some years ago, I think it was America, somebody that released a report that by a certain year, Nigeria will be a failed state. What did the average Nigerian do? God forbid. All these Western powers, they just want to look for how they will divide Nigeria and not look at why they made that report. Because we are blinded by rubbish. We are blinded by God will fix it. We are blinded by Western powers who want to just hijack Nigeria. Look at where we are right now.
Oh God.
This is
People don't understand
Nigeria of our
that.
dreams, baby.
People don't get it that this thing can just happen to the next person.
It will happen to the next person. No, it will. It might. It will.
I want to play an audio of something I saw recently. I think it's brilliant, right? And I'm just going to play it real quick.
Game called Werewolf.
Can you hear it now?
Everyone gets
Yeah.
a piece of paper. Have you ever heard of a game called Werewolf?
No.
Everyone gets a piece of paper. It's either got villager written on it, but 2 have the word werewolf. Someone runs the game to make sure no one's cheating, and they go, okay, it's nighttime, everyone close your eyes. Werewolves choose someone to kill, and the werewolves go. They say, okay, everyone close your eyes, it's morning time, open them again. During the night, Francis was killed. There's then a conversation, and this is where it gets interesting, between all the villagers and the 2 werewolves over who the werewolves are. Then at the end of the day, the villagers have to decide who they're going to kill, and they say, well, we're going to kill Constantine. It's revealed by the person running the game, I'm afraid Constantine was a villager. And the game continues. The villagers win the game if they kill both werewolves. The werewolves win the game if they kill all but 2 villagers. And the werewolves usually win. The game was invented by a student of sociology in Russia who wanted to prove his thesis that an uninformed majority will always lose a battle of information against an informed minority. So that just shows when you have hidden information, you can completely manipulate a large group of people.
You have like a bunch of people, you put them in a circle, right? And then you have somebody moderate it. And then the people are villagers, but 2 out of these people are werewolves. Just 2 people, right? So everybody's gathered in a circle. Every other person is a villager, but two out of all these people are werewolves. They then tell everybody to close their eyes and bow their heads,
Yeah.
right? Then they tell the werewolves. They've already identified who the werewolves are. The moderator knows who the werewolves are. They then tell the werewolves to open their eyes, raise their heads, and open their eyes and kill somebody, right? So they point.
Yeah.
Both werewolves agree to take somebody out. So when both werewolves agree to take someone out, they've agreed, right? The moderator now says, "Okay, everybody, raise up your heads and open your eyes."
Yeah.
They now ask the village, right? That who did the werewolves? Who did the werewolves?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then they usually pick the wrong person and kill the wrong person to the point where the werewolves eventually win because they keep guessing the wrong people as the werewolves.
Yeah. I get it.
And it's because they're uninformed. And if you
Yeah.
remain uninformed, you can't even know
you
who's
can't
killing
make
you.
you,
Yeah,
yeah,
you don't know
because you
what
can't
to
make
do.
good right decisions.
Can't make
Yeah,
those.
it's true.
You can't make the right decisions.
Yeah.
The guy in church today that is preaching to you and did not tell you you should be vocal about who the fucking kidnapped is
It's
a
not
fucking
giving you the right
werewolf.
information. Yeah.
He's a fucking werewolf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
And we're not
It's not
ready.
giving you the right information. Yeah.
not-
Sorry,
we're not
sorry,
ready.
to, sorry to say, but the political class and the religious class are in bed together.
Oh, the
They are in
church
bed,
has
they are in
religious
bed
leaders.
together.
right
Yeah.
from
100%.
right from the beginning. The
I've
church
said,
has-
and I thought of something one day. If a GO or general overseer can lay hands on your average Nigerian leader, that means there is no difference when your GO lays hands on a Yahoo boy because it's the same thing they are doing.
Yeah.
Same crime. About the same crime they do.
Yes.
But when you see your GO lay hands on a Nigerian political leader, there's no outrage in your body. You don't stand up from the church and say, "I'm not coming here again."
Yeah.
You don't. So you deserve everything you get. You deserve everything you get. At the end of the day, your religious leaders do not criticize. When these politicians come to their churches, they don't criticize them. They don't talk about corruption or stealing. They all say, "The Lord will bless our leaders and make them have courage to make the right decisions," which is a very stupid prayer to me.
I'll take this further. The reason Nigeria is at this state where citizens are just accepting anything that's coming, and the political class is they're just doing anything they like, is because of our religious leaders.
Yes.
Consider how influential our religious leaders are in Nigeria. Out of like the Big 10, think about your Big 10 religious leaders in Nigeria. One of them can start a protest in this country.
Steve, if I did
for
sorry.
Nigerians, for Nigerians not to be tired, or Nigerians are tired already. For Nigerians not to take actions over the state of this country, is because our political leaders do not want it. Because once it happens, one, it fucks up their bags, right? Tell me, the Nigerian religious leaders have as much to lose as the political leader if the citizens says enough is enough. It's their bag. Everybody's protecting their bag, including our religious leaders, because that's why you'll be able to convey members to that church. That's the way to lead a church this morning and not talk about what has happened in Abuja. That's the only way to keep people in check, and that's the only way to control people, and that's what our religious leaders are doing.
Steve, I want to add something. When you look at the African American fight for against racism, oppression, and everything, right?
Yeah.
The church, civil rights.
The church is always front and center.
The church played a
black
strong
church.
part,
Huge
and that's
role.
where Martin Luther King Jr. came out from.
Not just Martin Luther
These
King.
people,
even
these Christians came
religious
out.
leaders, even
Look at
these,
Selma. Look at Selma. They came out.
Even this one that Jay-Z mentioned, Jay-Z's favorite was Reverend not Jesse Jackson.
I can't remember Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton, like all of them.
Not even Al Sharpton. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
From the other side, the 5% of Islam,
Elijah Muhammad.
and even Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Farrakhan, like
They all
religious
had
leaders
religious
have
background.
always
Malcolm X.
been
Malcolm
the
X.
center
they all
of
fought
civil rights movement.
civil rights.
Yeah.
Go to South Africa. Archbishop Desmond Tutu fought for the end of apartheid in South Africa. Please tell me which any of our Forbes ranked GOs have come out to fight for the rights of Nigerians. Just point at one of them, please. But every year, they want to do something conference. All the leaders will go there. All the political leaders will go there. They will announce their head to toil and they'll move on. At the end of the day,
Nigerians were the ones in South Africa. Will still be in
they will still have
experiencing apartheid.
Yeah, those 2 years.
because guess what? They'll tell you, oh, don't come out now. It's the Lord's doing something.
Oh
something.
man, we will
Yup.
we'll so suck up to this.
Yup.
Oh my god, it will be
Yup.
crazy. Then the elite Nigerians will now say, "Oh, we're not like the we're not like the poor Nigerians.
Yup.
We are more." Oh my god.
And also, sorry, and also, this goes to the elite Nigerians. And what I mean, like the 1% rich. It is very hard for a Nigeria.
You're the most educated. You're the most enlightened.
Apart from that,
Organized, right?
Osagie, it is very hard for you to make so much wealth in Nigeria if you are not in cahoots with the government, right? You cannot make that kind of money if one, you are not in government, or two, you are financing people who go into governance. So they too are part of this whole wahala at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
last, this is the country we deserve. This is the country we did not fight for. So don't get mad at the end of the day.
That's the name of a good book. This is the country we did not the country we did not fight for.
Yeah, this is also.
All right, man. In this vexation, let's just move straight into TB Joshua. Who watched the documentary?
I saw a glimpse.
Saw a glimpse. I watched 1, 2, 3 at a stretch. I couldn't even drop it to work. I just made sure I finished it.
I started
Yeah.
at 1 a.m. I was done by I think 5 a.m. or something, or 4 a.m. I watched everything at the go, man, at the stretch, and
So
I would say I'm surprised.
I'm not.
not
It wasn't even
surprised.
eye opening to me. It's something
know,
I
no,
always.
so- There were a lot of things that were eye-opening to me.
Like what?
A lot of things I didn't know. I didn't know this. I didn't know that allegedly abortions were going on. I didn't know
What?
allegedly. I didn't even know I didn't. I
Osagie,
didn't know.
let me bust your
You know,
brain.
Should I tell you the only thing that shocked me? Should I tell you the only new thing I learned in that documentary?
What?
He had a daughter outside of.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that one.
Only-
I didn't know that one.
That's the only new thing I learned from that marriage, and that's the only thing I the other things I suspected. Like, see,
I didn't know most of those things. I didn't.
I,
Because I
I,
didn't
I won't say I know. I won't say I knew. I won't say I knew most of those things. I will say it wasn't shocking to me. It wasn't surprising to me in any way.
I didn't even know he had so much foreigners.
What?
Like those ladies that gave the whole the granted the interviews. I
Bro,
didn't know they were
if
there
you
for that
watch-
long. Some of them were there for 14 years.
Yes. If you watch that,
Damn.
that's the other slim girl. That one, she was regular now. She's the one that does the media. She's the one that talks. She interviews people. If you watch TB Joshua's clips, she's always there interviewing people. You know, it's just sad. And I always tell this people. I always tell this story. Like, I had opportunity to be very close to him, like to TB Joshua, like like know him, know his people, like just
Could
be
have
that
been one of his
person.
boys pulling his underwear down when he wants to use the restroom.
No, not be that, no, God forbid, but not be that one. I'm just talking about like from a media perspective. Like, he loves journalists, he welcomes journalists every time. I knew like OG journalists. I won't mention him now just because of even the ones
Yes, no.
Osagie, that just like that used to go there at any time and you grant them.
He
audience,
loved
you
the
see
media.
them. He loved the media.
Loved the media. He
Especially
knew
if
the
you
power
have,
of the
he
media.
knew the power of the
He knew
media, so he loved them. So a lot of your media, all of your media big boys in Lagos used to be his guys. They'll drive to the synagogue, you'll see them, they'll talk for like 30 minutes as they're going, they give them packages and stuff like that. So it started from the bidding collab. So like when I used to go there a lot to cover for my newspaper then. And I never felt idea, even his aura, like I never felt idea, like I never liked the idea of who he was personally. So I stayed away. I stayed away. I still know a lot of people. That's when he died. And I saw that story. I called someone at the synagogue and someone who confirmed to me and even even took me into the synagogue that morning, the morning that I went there, because I went there that morning, just to confirm everything, and I did the story for pros. I never liked the idea of that man, even the way he operated, even the way if you see him and you see the way people around him move, you think he's a cause. Like, if you've seen him in, like, apart from like the pulpit or preaching on TV, you see people around him, the way they move anytime he's around, like the aura, the way You just think he's it's just the movement of a court leader. Everybody is just so on time. Like when you are guiding, like some people are moving just by scripts. You don't like. I don't know how to explain it. It's just they're just like robots. And I never like. I used to look at it. I'm like, man, this man is wild.
This man was closing out stadiums in Mexico,
bro. Bro, it's mad. It's mad. It's mad.
God of mercy.
It's like the power, the influence that this man, like the influence he had.
Bro. You see this thing called religion. This thing called religion. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's been here before we were born. It'll be here after we leave. It's not going anytime. Do you know that on social media, right? There were people going in after watching that whole documentary. There were people. First of all, guys, if someone does an expose on something, you can't do an expose on like a million things at the same time. You have to do one expose on one thing. So if someone publishes an expose on something, I don't think it's smart to start asking why the media house has not done an expose on something else.
It's Nigerians. We feel entitled for this wrong rubbish.
I can only do one expose at a time. How many BBC investigations have they published? Has the BBC published since they started? Probably over 20, 30.
Yeah.
Across Africa now, right?
Yeah.
And they do an investigative piece on, and then you're saying, why haven't you done an investigative
which is expensive, which a lot of people don't know.
Do you know how many investigative pieces have been done on the Catholic Church?
How many documentaries?
Yeah.
You know how many documentaries are on the Catholic Church? Are you high?
You understand? Why didn't you? There was another one. Why didn't you? Why did you do it on the bishops or on the Vatican or whatever in the UK?
So that stupid sense of patriotism that will not be using to justify rubbish.
I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of people, shielding incompetence and mediocrity because of religion, incompetence and mediocrity because of tribe, incompetence and mediocrity because of their fellow country person. I'm sick of it.
That's why I don't believe if something Nigerian comes out and it's work, I'm saying it's work. I don't care if it is green, white, green. My guy, it is work. Because now this rubbish,
sick of it.
Now this rubbish don't bring us to where we did right now. We keep managing, accept it like that. Oh, we accept bad roads, we accept all this, and look at where we are right now.
I'm fucking sick of it. Every time. Oh, now our person, if you talk like that now. It's incompetence. What are you talking about?
You know, our guy, now our brother, now from the same village. Me and my mama come from. So,
I stopped. I had a cousin, right? Not a cousin. I had a very, very close person, someone I really love, someone very dear to me. I wouldn't want to mention the relationship. Like in 2 years ago, I thought you guys know this story now. Personally, that had a baby, right? That didn't develop well. Like,
There
was a problem with her baby spinal cord. There was a lot of money, lots of like so many things wrong with the baby. So because of the spinal cord, her brain didn't develop well. Physically, she didn't develop. So like the baby was just non-functioning, still alive but non-functioning. After all the medical things, this person resorted to churches, prayer houses, and stuff like that. The baby is dead now, by the way. Which is like a big relief to me, and like as I like to even the parents, because bro, it's so like it should be so unfair for that baby to grow up into an adult, it would be so unfair. Like it's so unfair on the baby, the parents, and everybody around them. Like it's so it's like nobody deserves to live like that. So it's
what a painful thing.
Yeah, baby died. I think she was almost 2. She was 2, like more than 2 years. She was 2, almost 2. Right? When she died, like 3 months ago, and everybody has moved on now. And but I saw this person I love, going to churches. One day I was in the car with her. I was just expressing my concern about all these religious and spiritual things, and she was like, "See, man, you've never had any problem." That's what the person told me. When something like this happens to you, you are just confused. You don't really know what to do, so you just cling on any source of hope. And immediately she said that, I stopped judging. I really, because I'm not in her shoe. I've never been in that sort of situation, so I really don't know what. So, like, the point I'm trying to drive is, I don't know what pushes people into this kind of bondage where you are worshiping. You are worshiping person. You're worshiping a human, like, just because I don't, because, like I said, I only knew him from like a professional from professional interactions. The building was collapsing. I used to go there a lot to report it. The guys who used to call me to interview him, we just talk. We talked about random stuff. There was one day he asked me which school I went to. Right? TB Joshua has also asked me which university I went to. I told him, which course. I told him. We just discussed about the city, about the brief. He told me about one time he went to Asaba, like, just briefly, like, just something, just professional and just social, right? But even at that, I could see that no, this is not he's not him, right? Like, I saw it. Like, how would somebody look at this kind of person and just say, because I look at it now, and not just to mention names, like this popular pastor in the East, right? That's very funny. And anytime I see his clip, I see a lot of people in church. There's a clip that trended.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Bro, there's a clip that trend. There's a clip, or that there's this video clip that trended.
Lying down on somebody.
There's a clip that trended last week where a pastor was delivering a marine spirit. You guys saw it now.
Yeah, where the spirit was flirting with him.
Right. And
people were quoting it and saying, no be this babe with this Snapchat.
Osagie, I want you to watch that video again, right? I want you to watch that video again. And don't look at the man and the girl. Look at the faces of the people there. I saw confused people. I saw people with no hope. Like it's just like when you are from a failed country, this is what it resorts to.
Yeah, you call zombies, The Walking Dead.
It's The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's The Walking Dead.
Zombies. It's The Walking Dead, bro. It's zombies. It is like, and I just have so much. Well, Nigeria don't tire person. It's I see these people and I'm like, and the one that annoys me when you try to talk about this things and people just tell you, oh, you not talk about the man of God, don't judge, you don't know who's real and who's not real. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, and the way you protect men of God that you clearly know that these people are career criminals, and the way you just no, it's absurd. Nigeria is an absurd place. You know the funny thing. Sorry, one of the ladies.
Yes, I don't.
One of the ladies that was in the documentary, we met at the COSA protest in 2018 or 19, the one here in Lagos, and she told me about TB Joshua. She said she was a victim and everything. So when I saw her in the documentary, I was like, God damn, this is true, man.
Which one of them?
Yeah, I've always known that woman now.
The black woman.
The black woman. The man. I know that. I've always known that man. Even when we're covering the churches, he was with Joma, what's his name? He was a close TB Joshua guy, I should say it. And I knew that guy. Then the woman, I didn't know the woman from when I used to go to synagogue. I knew her from like stories. This woman has been talking about TB Joshua.
She has a book. I think she has a book.
She has a book. She wrote a book. Yeah, she wrote a book. Yeah.
And I know that guy. The dude has shooters because he tried taking the guy out. He has shooters. How are you a pastor and you have shooters? Alright, man. How you
not go get shooters as pastor? Yeah. People will be goons on their own.
Bro, I was watching that story and my mouth just kept widening. At every next scene, from the rape allegations to putting their pictures under a knife to like farm.
Anybody that knew TB Joshua when he first came out, where he really appeared like a cult leader, shouldn't be surprised about this. But there's already generation that didn't know, so I guess it was necessary to put out that kind of expose.
And you see, then the weirdest ones. And guess what's happening? We mentioned the pastor in something? I'm a man of war. I'm a liquid sword.
Yeah,
in
that dude,
the comedian.
That dude in the East. You know what's also funny? You know how we always say, we used to laugh at other African countries that, Nigeria can never be like this.
Yeah.
Guess what, guys? You know how ridiculous their pastors and men of God are over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The men of God here are turning into those guys.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
definitely.
It's true.
It's a caricature now. It's becoming a caricature.
The
It's
height
true.
of ridiculousness used to be like TB Joshua and Chris Oyakhilome, right?
Yeah,
That used
yeah,
to be
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
height
yeah,
of like, oh,
yeah.
these miracles and these conspiracies of, oh, the miracles are not true, the miracles. That used to be the height of it. What we are seeing now in those African countries, they're already happening here now. There's a
Ref.
video of this guy placing his legs on the woman's legs and lying down on her, and everybody's in the church looking at what the hell is going on. And I'm just like, God, what is? Why are you people coming here? What is going on with you people? But I understand. They've sucked the hope out of these people. There's nowhere to turn to. They've taken every hope away from these people. But guys,
Ah, yeah,
right
what's
things
the name of the
before
reverend that you
listen.
mentioned again? The slim, the one that you mentioned. Osagie said it wasn't it.
Which one?
The one I said is Jay-Z mentioned in his about
Elijah Muhammad.
I'll shout in.
I'll
Or
shouting. Yeah,
shouting,
thank you,
yeah.
thank you. I also don't remember the name. Osagie, continue. Yeah.
Yeah. I want us to move from this thing. I'm very. Let's go to the light-hearted topic. Let's discuss music. What do we want to discuss? Thierry Henry's interview. Have you watched the interview?
Yeah, I finished it. So I was curious because even from the trending, even from the clip that trended, like the clip they released as a teaser
Yeah.
for the, was talking about how his dad drove him into like sport. In fact, I think projects Thierry Henry was more project than even project Mbappe. Thierry Henry didn't want to play football. At least Mbappe even wanted to play. Thierry Henry didn't want to play. So he got me thinking about like especially successful kids, successful athletes, musicians, because Beyonce also has this problem. That's why you see that his relationship with their father is kind
Yeah,
of like
it's strained.
it's strained, right?
Yeah, Michael Jackson as well.
Michael Jackson somehow, So how do you draw this? Like as a parent, I think about it. How do we draw this line?
We need to ask Serena's dad.
But Serena's that too is like that now.
Yeah, there is a Serena's dad. The relationship was also.
Was
It's
it
trained.
I didn't
The
watch the
relationship
movie.
got strained.
Oh, we know what I
Maybe
think.
Serena's dad's one is different because he left his first family and he was on the second.
You are far for this, but you have a point.
That's the Yoruba man right there.
Bro,
Yeah,
you understand? Maybe he say, "Oh, this is my second tryout, man. Okay, my
Yeah.
first startup didn't work.
I
All
feel-
as a founder,
I feel
let me
that-
launch my second startup.
Yeah. I feel that there's some fathers that know that look, this child has a special trait, or it can be somebody great, and they sacrifice that personal relationship for the so-called
For
greater
that
good.
greatness.
Because look at Michael Jackson's father. It was extra hard on Michael Jackson because I believe he saw something.
Yeah,
He saw something that you know how fathers can see something in a child, and the mother is like, leave this child alone. But the father is like, no, there's something you are not seeing. Applies with Beyonce,
yeah.
Now was he strict on her, and all that. Also with Thierry
very
Henry,
strict. Even with Thierry Henry.
yeah, they said there's a match where he scored like 9 goals, and when he got
Yeah,
into the camp, he was like, he was telling him all the wrong things he had done. All the wrong things he has done, that you do not trap this football here, you miss this header, you do not pass to this person, one thing.
Wow.
So you have to
I
become a
haven't watched it
machine.
yet. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
So growing up, like I like Thierry Henry. I don't
Very
know, I don't
charismatic
have
guy.
that personal, but I don't have that personal thing with him like every other, like other footballers. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because it was so.
I think it was the
also
Arsenal
very.
thing.
It's the Arsenal thing.
Is it the Arsenal thing? No,
Yes.
it's not the Arsenal thing because Dennis Bergkamp. I love Dennis Bergkamp. Forget that he's Dutch.
Okay.
Like I love Dennis Bergkamp. Sylvian Wiltord. I love Sylvian Wiltord. You know what? There are some Arsenal players that I love to heart. What's his name? Ray Parlour. Oh my God. One of my best favorites.
That's
Arsenal
bastard
ballers.
midfield.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Arsenal midfielder after Patrick Vieira now.
Do you understand? Then what's his name? Education.
Edu.
That's what we call him. Education when he's playing. So
I think-
because he was cocky. That's why it's not the
Yeah,
Arsenal.
Henry
It
was very
oh my
cocky.
God.
Yeah,
He was a cocky
Henry was
bastard.
very
He
cocky.
was a cocky bastard.
It was very cocky. He was very cocky.
Yeah.
But we all know. I think it's obvious what was driving him. It's like. So I was watching the interview.
It could also
First,
be his own coping mechanism, man.
yeah. First,
It is a coping
I'm
mechanism.
angry. I think first I'm angry because now that you mentioned Serena, I think Serena. I think the reason Serena is different is because maybe they got to understood that this man wanted the best for me, and took it in as love and interpreted it differently. And
Yeah.
I feel that the relationship being different in case of Serena and Venice is because they choose it to be
To
different.
understand it. Yeah.
So I didn't understand why, because even I had to watch the full I had to go watch the full interview to see if he
Hmm.
still had any love for the dad or understood.
Did he?
He constantly whined on through that interview, talking about how he was
Come on,
brought up. He
it was
wasn't brought up
Popsy
with
wine
love.
through,
He wasn't brought up
wine.
with love. Like how
Wow.
I do understand it because
And without the
this
dad, he
man,
won't be where he is.
this man is
But
this man showed
achieve
love.
your full
This
potential.
man showed love in a different way, making sure that you became the best version of yourself.
He
I don't
became
think
the
there's any
GOAT.
love that surpassed that.
Yeah.
Someone priming you up to be the best version of yourself, where you have a statue. You were brought up in a small village in France, in Paris, close to Paris. You know, you have a statue in London. You are known all over the world. You are a great. You are an icon.
You're an icon, man.
So this thing is it got me thinking. It confused me a little bit because
I don't think he has
at the
seen.
end of the day,
I don't think he has seen it that way yet.
because at the end of the day, our relationship with our parents become more very much important to them when they are very older, right?
Yeah.
And because I look at my dad now,
And start reaching out.
yeah, look at my dad now. I know how happy, he like the relationship we have, how happy it makes him, right? And I look at Thierry Henry's dad, who is still. We even had to Google it to see if he was still. He's still alive, and I'm wondering how he will feel, seeing his son talk about, their relationship, saying that he never brought up his love. His dad never told him that he loved him when he was growing up, and he affected.
But bro,
You know,
like,
he
he
talked
Jordan thing. It's like
doesn't know that
like
he's
the Jordan
very
thing.
hungry.
He mentioned scoring
that
9 goals
Jordan
in a
thing.
game,
Yeah.
and immediately he got inside the car. In short, he said even before he saw his dad, like
He knew.
when after the game, his dad was walking towards him. Even from he was backing his dad. He didn't see him, but from a certain aura, he knew his dad wasn't happy. And immediately he got into the car. The dad started telling him about the touches that the first thought that he didn't do well, the pass that he didn't weigh well. Like so many, he started critiquing his game. This is someone who scored 9 goals. And I'm like, yes, if he had praised me for the 9 goals, you would have like really be slacked about it and I'm now good. This man is making sure he was keeping you on your toes until you became a professional. So the thing really it got me really thinking, and that's why I put it in the talking points.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think as parents, right, we're also that's what I was saying. Serena's dad was on the second startup, so it was a bit different. Because as parents, right, it's our first goal. You're not a trained parent. Do you understand what I
Yeah.
mean? If you have a kid, that's your first time. You have one shot.
Yeah, I
You're not a
am
trained
learning that you're
parent
going.
of 20 years experience. So I've been a parent for 20 years. I have 20 years experience being a parent, and every child is new. So like, we need to cut our parents some slack at times. It's what they knew. At times you can just ask our parents, "Oh, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that?" Hey, man, hindsight is 2020. Guess what? Some of you bought Doge coins and lost money. Do you understand? Stop making it look like
Some of them,
you sabi.
some of them will become parents and they will do worse.
Some of you didn't buy Apple stocks.
Yeah.
If some of you bought Apple stocks 10 years ago, right? And put $1,000 or $2,000 in Apple stocks 10 years ago, hey, you would have gotten some good returns now. Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
so hindsight is 2020. Oh,
Okay.
why did my parents relocate back then?
Yeah.
In
Exactly.
1980, in
I
1979,
didn't know now. They thought
how
the
many
country
years
was going to
after
be
the oil
great.
boom?
Yeah.
Even in
many years
1993,
was
they
it
thought the
after
country
the
was going
oil
to be great.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Hindsight is 2020. So at times, cut your folks some slack.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
human
I want to ask you
beings
this
too.
question. I want to ask you this question. Tough love, right?
Yeah.
Tough love to make your kids the best version of themselves, where they might end up not liking you when they grow old, right?
Sign me
It's
up.
the-
Sign
and
me up. Where's the
love,
shit? Sign me up.
love, where you don't
I've
really know
already
they're going to.
started training myself on tough love, even with my wife. What are you people talking about? My wife will tell me, your love is too tough. At times, I say yes.
I can
Best
imagine.
version. 24/7. As I run the newsroom back, no more that's why they run the house.
That
Tough
newsroom
love.
was real tough. That newsroom was tough love.
Yeah, because the thing.
Tough
So
love. The newsroom
yeah.
was tough love.
the thing, like the thing,
And I start babying you. Oh, you didn't write the article well. No, my OG trained me with tough love.
because
You know, bro, the newsroom back then now. Do you know the turnout, the turnover? People they come out after two, they can't take it.
they can't.
It's
Some
tough
40
love.
hours, they're gone.
Some people 48 hours. Some people, bro. I fired one guy one time. The guy, I remember that guy. Nice guy. I told him, go to where Tokpebi, go down to go and buy me City People. Because we used to buy like all the
All the
tabloids, right? Look
newspapers
at
just to know
them.
what's
Where
happening.
can we take some leads? Do you
Part of
understand?
media monitoring. Yeah.
Do you understand? This is like 20, maybe this is like 2012 or maybe early 2013, maybe 2012 because they were still. So go down on a Monday morning or Tuesday morning when they drop, go and get me these newspapers so we can scrape through and look at what's trending, what we can follow up on, what we can build on. You know, as this thing they work now, yo.
Yeah.
You know what this young man tells me?
Oh.
Son is too much.
They're not ready.
I fired him on the spot. His name is Michael. Shout out to him. I'm sure he's doing amazing things now. He was fired on the spot. Fired on the spot. I said you're fired.
No, but that kind of attitude.
I said you can now go home and enjoy the shade. You're fired. No. You know, and I thank God for my boss at the time. Anybody I fire, they think because I don't own the paper and I'm just the editor-in-chief and he's the publisher, they will now go into his office. So I see them, you know, with their face going to his office. I mean, I just cross my leg on my table because I know the outcome already. They will now come out of that place and just go and pack their bag and be going. Because he's going to tell them, oh, what happened? Osagie fired you? He did that? Well, you're fired then. And we just, you understand?
Simple now.
You're fired. You're gone. You have to always back the manager.
Yeah, you always have to
back the manager. So you want to act like Sancho up in this bitch? You're out.
You're out, my nigga.
We're not ready.
Last
love or not? I mean, you can put some empathy. See, tough love also comes with empathy. You understand?
Yeah, it does.
Approach. You know, as the Yoruba says now, you use one hand to do what you use the other hand to. That one day. But you want to baby. You're on mute, Steve. You want to baby.
You can't create champions that way. You can't.
The empathy is for people who can deliver. It's not for. The empathy is not for non-performance.
My very good friend told me something, and when he told me that thing, it has stuck in my brain. He says, "What? Raise your children well, so you don't end up raising your grandchildren."
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Raise your children well.
At 85, you are not carrying a 2-year-old. At 85, you'll be carrying a 2-year-old up and down.
I've seen this thing. No,
plays out many times.
Raise your children well, so you don't end up raising your grandchildren. See, all the cutie, lovey stuff you want to do, you do it with your grandchildren. That's how it usually happens now. My mom, right, is cool with the grandkid. Grandma is so nice. I tell them, hey, this woman
is wicked
on a tight ship. This woman used the spatula more on me than she used to make eba in the house.
Yeah.
Y'all need to understand. But they say, no, grandma is not. Guess what? My grandma, who's her own mom, she tells me, say, this your grandma that you think is the nicest. She used to make me pick rice, not beans, rice. Do you understand? So, tough love or nothing. Where's tough love? Sign me up. I want to play central defender. 6. Sign me up now. Tough Love FC. That's the name of this episode. Tough Love FC.
You know why it's cute? I don't know. I think everybody's different, but I prefer tough love. Like I feel if you're not really, I feel like, for example, Mourinho was telling Dele Alli something in that documentary. In the All or Nothing.
Tough love now.
Tough love. You still handle it.
If you come to this training, he said if you come to this training every day for the 1 week, and I don't talk to you about how you can get better, just know that you're not my cup of tea.
Oh my God.
The only reason I'm going to come and tell you, please get better. Yeah.
I'm going to cut you short. My English language teacher in secondary school,
Mr.
Osholo, called me to his office. See, I was a very brilliant kid in secondary school, but I was also a menace. In secondary school, and that because I was passing, so I was like, I'm bored. What do I need to do? Let me go and hang out with the bad guys. The guy called me to the office and said, does any of the other teachers call me to talk to me? I said no. He said, they all don't like you. I like you, that's why I'm talking to you. You need to change, and I'll keep talking to you. On the last day of graduation, this guy called me, and the guy always gave me tough love. It was annoying at times. There was also another guy on my case 24/7, and I'm just like, damn. I thank God those guys were brought into my life.
Bro, 100%. 100%. 100%.
So
Hundred
let's move on
percent.
from tough
Yeah.
love. All right, let's get into some music. Terry G says he's retiring from music, and Steve said, "Wait a minute, I thought he retired already."
No,
Yeah.
he was in hibernation, Steve. He didn't retire. He didn't retire.
So he was semi-retired.
So he came out a week before. He came out and complained that when he was hot, artists would come to come and beg him for hits, and he readily give them a production or give them a hook. But now that he reaches out to artists, everybody's airing him out. So I guess he's feeling some kind of way. He's no longer hot, he's no longer buzzing, and he's like, "Fuck it, I want to retire." Or maybe this could be a PR stunt again. Maybe he has something
Yeah,
to
it's a
work.
PR. It's a PR stunt.
Yeah,
It's a
because
PR
I don't
stunt.
think Terry G.
Musicians don't retire.
Yeah, musicians don't
Yeah,
retire.
I think life happened to him. That's how life is. When you give out, give out, give out, and you are empty, people will leave you alone and go and look,
Also, I
go
don't
and look
think
for another word to tap from.
I don't think he's
So
scaled up.
it's an analogy. It's an analogy I'm using. I'm not saying it's empty. I'm just saying that's how
Oh,
life
yeah.
is. When people have used you and used you and used you and used you, so you as a human, you have to constantly ask yourself, how do I evolve? How do I
So that's
like,
the
how
key.
do I stay fresh?
Yeah. He didn't evolve like a Timaya.
Yeah.
Timaya ended up
I'm-
becoming a premium brand, even though he was making street music. Terry G
Thank
decided to
you.
just be that. Terry G still was like portable, like the
Yeah.
videos, his songs were never properly mixed and mastered. Everything was just
didn't,
one kind.
didn't refine them enough. Yeah.
He didn't come out refined, so he got stuck in that place, and music went ahead of left him behind.
See, this thing happens to everybody. In the corporate world, it happens. When people turn 40, 50, they feel that the marketplace is not like favorable to them anymore. Trust me, it's not about age. It's just about how refreshed are you, how like how have you evolved as a person. It happens everywhere, both in corporate world, in music, in sports. We all know sports. It happens everywhere. So we as humans, it's just a lesson for us. Like, how do we stay fresh? How do we keep learning? And the key to it is just to keep learning, taking knowledge. The more you do that, the more you look for ways to maneuver the system and
Yeah.
keep staying fresh.
Yeah, so what happened to Terry G is two things actually. Two things happened at the same time to him. The first is he's a producer. All right.
Yeah.
Now you know what happens to producers in Nigeria? They are the end of the stick most times.
Yeah.
What happens to producers in Nigeria is that once the sound evolves, right, the producer then becomes defunct. There are clear examples, plenty. The most recent one is Rexy. You see Rexy now, he has not dropped. You've not seen Rexy on any production. Have you heard of Rexy? Any Rexy? No. He might be doing like one or two things, but like he's not the in thing anymore. But he was a few years, like a year or 2 years ago, right? And shout out to him because he's an amazing guy, and I'm sure he's going to do like more stuff. But it happens. It's not. What's the name of the other guy? Nifkeys. At some point, it was Nifkeys all through. Right?
Yeah, every
But
song was Nifkeys.
you understand? The only person that I know that has been able to beat that thing is SARS.
SARS is a witch now. Now witch is the brown one. Man.
Since he debuted in 08, SARS has been able to beat that thing. And guess what? Because he's evolved. The sound SARS was producing in 2008 is not the sound he's producing now. He's been able to evolve. Once you don't evolve, right, it's evolve or die. That's where it's in the Nigerian music industry.
Kondo sounds so different from Happiness, and it's the same person.
Do you understand?
It's the same person.
Kako Be Chicken sounds so damn freaking different from what he's done in the last, whatever.
That sounds project with World. That's when I knew that.
Oh, that was a monster.
What is a goat? Like he's one of them. He's one of them.
Yeah.
I listened to that project and say, this guy has evolved. He has, so SARS is a
SARS has done. He has upped his production to a mad level.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So
where is Chocolate City's guy? That guy, what's his name? The guy that used to produce for Chocolate City guys. That used to
Reinhard
produce for Ice Prince, not Reinhard.
E. Kelly.
Magic Stick.
No, not Magic
No,
Stick.
Magic Stick.
No.
Magic Stick is not. What's wrong with Steve now?
I want to remember the guy's name now. Oh yeah, now. I'll remember.
I know
that
who you're
one.
talking about. He's talking about the guy who produced Last, Steve Ayo.
E. Kelly.
E.
No, chopsticks.
Kelly.
Sorry,
Not
chopsticks.
I was talking about
Chopsticks.
chopsticks. Sorry, sorry,
Chopsticks.
sorry,
Yeah.
chopsticks, not E.
Chopsticks
Kelly.
still produce last
That's
now.
true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Chopsticks is still, So so that's what happened. That's what
The
happened to Terry.
chopsticks and magic sticks, they're almost the same thing now.
Okay.
You just remove the magic, post chop. There's still stick there. So
Don't
that
worry.
when I said
Don't
magic stick,
worry.
you're supposed to remember first sharp sharp now. Why you can't be like say I too the abstract? It's just magic now. They do mistake now.
This is problem with Nigerians. Just move on. Osage, continue.
I'm so
Sage
bewildered. I don't
tire.
even know how to respond to that. Anyway, so for Terry G, so that's the first thing that happened to him. The production side of him went defunct. So remember, most of Terry G's what you would see from Terry G is like, oh, I do production, I feature on the person's song, boom, 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 it was blowing up like that, and he also did his own shit, right? So once that production side dried up, right, nobody was visiting him anymore, and so that layer of or that pipeline to get like hit songs with people wasn't happening. Then
Yeah.
as an artist himself, because he was also producing himself, right? What also happens is that your sound now gets defunct as well,
Yeah.
and it
Just
means that the
still.
music you make is not because you're not going. So usually what happens is that other artists, they recognize or they quickly start to see that this producer I'm working with, the sound is getting defunct, they move on to another producer. But for someone like Terry G now that produces himself, the song gets defunct, the sound gets defunct,
He should have done
he
like
doesn't move on.
he should have done like Fuse. At one point, Fuse, other guys were producing for him, and Fuse is a producer. He should have gotten other
Exactly.
producers to work with.
Exactly. So that's the same. That's what happened to Terry G. The sound just became defunct. Nothing about and the style and everything just didn't defunct. And he also didn't evolve. You always have to evolve. If you don't evolve, right? It like see, Banky W is like I love him to death. You guys know how much I love Banky and his music and him as a person, right? But the last album he dropped, do you understand?
Yeah.
It didn't crack it because
Couldn't fit in the
the
landscape.
sound the sound you understand the sonic landscape has moved on, and you
Yeah,
need to
moved on.
recognize that you can't be cocky about it, you can't be
It's like
hard-headed about
if you do gra, you fall.
you need to recognize it. So for someone like me, like if Two Face is going to produce like an album now, right, I want to see tempo on production,
Yeah.
I want to see Joe Boy writing for him,
Yeah.
I want to see Omale writing for him. You
I want
get
to see Peruzzi writing for him.
you can't go and meet what's his name, and shout out to him, but what's his name,
Joe Slicky.
yeah, just do you understand? You like,
Yeah.
come on, man. You understand? So even just Slick self don't turn artist. You get what I'm saying? So that's what happened to Terry G. But his influence, his impact in Nigerian music will never
Of
be
course.
taken away.
Yes. It can't be
OG
understated.
in its very own right, from being a producer to being an eccentric producer to an eccentric artist to the lifestyle and the flashiness. And I think that's something that we also need to appreciate, right?
Yeah.
While Casey and Presh were like the bling bling guys, Terry G brought a lot of razzmatazz and and craze, so to say,
And
in air quotes,
grunge.
to Afrobeats, which was very well much needed, because you needed that extent of madness and craziness
Yeah,
for,
because
for us
everybody
to
was
get
looking too
the
clean
out
and
of it.
everybody was looking too clean and blingy blingy.
You know.
And he now came with that madness.
Yeah. So shout out to Terry G. Bless so many people with so many hits. You know. All right. So yeah. 20 years of Chocolate City. So
So
Chocolate
yes.
City, one of Nigeria's most prominent record labels, released the cipher celebrating 20 years in the game. First of all, round of applause to Chocolate City for just being
Woo!
20 years in the game. First of all, that's a lot. Like, shout out to Chocolate City. From the artists they've put out to the impact, to the brand, to everything. I think they have shown, and they have shown how well, and how much it is to invest in artists and push artists out there, and how much impact these artists can have on people's lives. So you're not going to tell the story of Afrobeats without mentioning Chocolate City as a record label and as a company. And look at the artists they put out, from Jeremiah Gang to Emma Baga, Ice Prince, Jesse Jags, um, and so many of Brimo,
Yeah.
Nosa, Ruby,
Black
so many
Bones.
artists. And of recent, Blackbone, CK, man, they have a healthy roster of artists they've put out,
I
and
Yeah.
thought
they
you didn't
put
want
it.
to mention CK.
Are you going to start with this narrative?
Who's
Steve,
sorry, Steve? I just asked
Steve,
this. I
Holy
just asked a
Police,
question.
2024, Holy Police, Holy Police.
I
Okay,
can't I
okay,
can't deal
okay,
with narratives, please. I
okay,
beg.
okay. No wahala.
And so many other artists that they've put out, and one interesting thing, right? Not just put out artists, but like projects. That's one thing I also respect Chocolate City for. They've put up you look at the whole Afrobeat landscape, whether it's hip hop or whatever, in Afrobeats, let's just say from 99 till now, there are some projects you can say, if you want to pick the top 50 projects, there are some projects that Chalk City will say, this project make am.
Talk
You
City will get
understand?
like a healthy percentage. They'll have a healthy percentage of what they're
Let
working.
talk about it will make it.
The, see,
MI2 will make
MI's
it.
first two albums
Everybody
first. MI first.
everybody loves Ice Prince will make it.
Yes.
You understand? And that's healthy already. If you are looking for a top 50 album, they already have what, three albums that made it. Then I like their group album, the Indestructible Chuck Boy, I can't remember the name of the album, but
TICBN.
that group album, yes, the Indestructible Chuck Boy Nation. That album is also a well put together album, well A&R. So, you want to call all the labels and you talk about longevity. Longevity.
It's not easy.
Shout
20
out to them
years.
as
It's
well.
not beans.
Shout out to them as
Yeah,
well. So, yeah, just want to give it. And the cipher was crazy. Put six MCs
bro,
on the cipher: Black
bro.
Bones, AQ, Loose Cannon, Ice Prince, Jesse Jags, and Emma Abaga.
It
I don't know,
was a
man. I love,
legacy
I
cipher.
love MI. I love MI so much, man, because everybody had a dope verse though. Like everybody had a
Yeah.
dope verse. Shout out to everybody. But just when you're just rapping and you're dropping lines that people can relate to, like
hmm
dropping like culturally relevant.
That's why I keep saying
Right.
drop cultural relevance.
No,
Cultural
Emma
relevance
is
is
Emma
key.
is Emma is so intelligent, and shout out to him. Shout out to him. This is how many years in the game now?
He
He's
came
still
in
like,
'08. He
yeah,
dropped
man.
his
Come
debut in
on, man.
'08, and he's still here.
Yeah, man.
He's
That's
still here.
dope.
He's
That's
4
dope.
years shy of a
Of
20-year
20
career.
years, yeah. Come on, man.
You got to give it to him.
You
You
have
got to
to.
give it to him.
You
Yeah.
have
So
to.
shout out to them. Shout out to everybody there. Shout out to Don Boost Boost. Shout out to IB. Shout out to the whole team at Chocolate City. Shout out to Aidu Mikori. Shout out to the truck boss Paulo Kugo and every other person over there. All right. So why do we have this most deaf comments on Drake?
It was, sorry, I thought you guys just. You guys have gone fully Afrobeat. You don't do hip hop anymore.
I mean, okay. Most deaf says Drake is not doing hip hop. I
There's
don't agree.
there's
It's
He
very
said
relatable.
he
it's
said
very
not
relatable,
shopping
yeah.
music for shopping.
And
It's
I want
very
to
simple.
shop. Shopping is better than killing someone on the streets.
I
Anyway,
think also he's reacting to something that Drake had said. So somebody wrote an article, I think it was on Complex or something, and
So
Drake had
explain.
replied that person, and so Mos Def probably saw it, and it might not be. See, it's also Mos Def's opinion, and I see one thing I like to do is respect people's opinion, as long as they say it's their opinion and it's not the factual truth.
yeah, it's fine.
Do I think Drake does hip hop? Absolutely yes. Does he do other form of music? Absolutely yes. Can he do both? Absolutely yes.
Yes.
Is he a hip hop artist?
Yes.
Fam, yes. Do you understand?
Bars for bars.
This
Come
guy,
on.
this guy released Nothing Was the Same, which is one of my favorite hip hop albums of this era. So, then the whole thing is just social media, because the whole thing now delves into, oh, Mos Def is not a good rapper. Oh, Drake is better than Mos Def, and all that. These are two certified hip hop artists. Mos Def is a certified MC. You can't touch him, right? Mos Def is Mos Def, right? And Drake is Drake. So it's Mos Def's opinion on how Drake is or what kind of music he makes, and that's fine. And Drake also can have his own opinion, and I can have my own opinion, which is fine. I think what usually happens is that someone comes with their opinion and you want to beat the person's opinion down because he does not agree with you. And it happens all the time. And for me, I'm like, it means that you're not even respecting other people's opinion. You can't see, with context. Mos Def spoke with context, and all that. So for me, hey, I don't
All
know.
right. What else?
Okay. Let's get into some fan mail. This is from the real anonymous guy. Hey Giants, it be like say una skip my mail, so I go line them up again. You see, that's it. No grief for anybody. Do you understand? You skip your mail, you don't agree. Line it up again. All right, finally got myself to write again. Day one listener here. I'm talking day one. I was a relatively frequent writer on the old iteration of the podcast, I'm the original anonymous guy before anybody became anonymous. Okay. All right. It's been a great one. It's been great to see you guys grow over the years. I literally feel like we've grown together. Have you read this mail before?
I don't think so.
It's sounding familiar,
Okay.
but I don't think so yet.
Okay. I recall you guys speaking about preparing for the reality of one's parents not being here, and so much came to my mind. Losing your parents is a truly terrible experience, especially if you were close to them. The idea that the first human reference point you had as you entered the world all of a sudden isn't there anymore is tough to deal with. Losing your parent puts everything into perspective. It lets you remember that young kid in primary school that was absent for a couple of weeks because he lost a parent, or that friend that had to move back to the city of birth to be closer to their mom and siblings after the passing of their dad. The experience leaves one in a deeper sense of appreciation of what loss may have felt for so many. To everyone who still has one or both parents, I would say this: take every chance you get to show them how much you love and appreciate them. Recognize that if they are over 50, they might not have as much time remaining as they have already spent. Don't exploit their waning strength, both literally and figuratively, because they are probably more vulnerable at that age. Cover their shortcomings as much as you can and treat them the same way you would like to be treated in 20 to 30 years by your own children. Great to be back on the pen, guys. Shout out to the anonymous guy. That's a deep one right there. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
deep
a
one
real
right
one.
there.
That's a real one.
Hmm.
I'm not sure I was even prepared for it. So deep.
Yeah, so it's a real
I
one
didn't
right
tell
there,
you.
man. Guys,
Yeah.
if you're listening right now, you've not called your folks in a while. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for I don't have a dad anymore. I still have a mom. I don't take it for granted. So please don't take it for granted. Oh. Make that phone call. And I like what he said. He said, don't take advantage or don't exploit their waning strength. That's
Yeah.
real.
That's
Because
Yeah.
true.
they're quite,
That's true.
isn't it just, I don't know what the word is, surreal, or I don't know what the word is, but you just see that your your folks, right? All of a sudden, they're just vulnerable. So yeah, that was a real email. That was a real one. All right, let's keep it moving. This is from Anonymous. My strong man, I hail. My name is Anon. Straight to the matter. A movie claimed to have made 1 billion naira in domestic box office numbers in 3 weeks, and I think this requires some investigation. Small Google search said we have 81 cinemas in Nigeria, with the highest weekly attendance nationwide being 104,000 in 2018, dropping significantly to 45,000 in 2023. This movie that has barely gotten the rave reviews movies like King of Boys did, and yet claims to have seen 1.1 million cinema attendees within 3 weeks. If we even average tickets to 10K, somehow these people have been able to pack the cinemas with Winners Chapel type crowds every day for 3 weeks in cassava economy, and nobody noticed. Maybe I'm too much of a cynic, but you can maybe I'm too much of a cynic, but can you guys analyze this thing better, as I am uneducated? Very soon these type figures will become norm, but no evidence. On an entirely unrelated note, I'm beginning to see a pattern with people after aligning themselves with politics and politicians, then claim then claims of magic money. That's how the founder of one small but popular church ran for office and came back to build a monstrosity of a church in 3 years. A feat that took the likes of Deeper Life almost 20x their size 20 years to do. Or maybe I'm just being a hater. But damn, I hate the way these people make us look stupid. You're politically correct, anonymous. Oh. Okay, for the cinema talk, I would immediately refer to our media expert here, Nollywood media expert here, Ayomide Tayo.
Um, so people have always, anytime a Nigerian movie always, gets heavy box office numbers, people always say, is it true? Is it not? Is it true? Is it not? At the end of the day, I believe, until you can find out if the numbers are fake, or you can find out there's a systemic way of them duping the numbers, we have to believe these numbers are true. Earlier in the week, there was a figure released, um, the top 10 highest grossing Nollywood films of all time. And a tribe called Judah had 314,003 admission numbers, or basically tickets sold. And that goes through a central system, is digital and everything. I'm not saying things cannot be hacked or processed, but at the end of the day, you know, if you show us that there's a hole in the system, then prove it. It's on you to prove it. But at the end of the day, it's 1.5 billion. 314,000 people have gone to watch the movie. I know I wanted to watch the movie, and they told me that whole day was sold out, completely sold out. Yeah. So first of all, let's not underestimate who Funke Akindele is. She has been able to cultivate her status since the Jennifer breakout movie she did for herself, the Jennifer character breakout, and she has been able to cultivate a core status for herself that people will follow her no matter what kind of movie she does. And you're talking about quality. I don't think this has anything to do with quality, because we're talking about quality. We shouldn't be doing Fast and Furious anymore in America. But somehow Vin Diesel and his friends want to keep on tormenting us with Fast and Furious. You have to
And
understand that,
family.
yeah, and his family. You have to understand that the movie business is all about money making. That's why it's called a business, and not whether the movie is interesting or sweet. And that is subjective to you. There are millions of Nigerians that will go out and watch a Funke Akindele movie. I can't stand an AY movie. AY dot no, I said I want to say AY.com. An AY the comedians movie. But the day I went to watch Merry Men 2, the hall was filled up and people were laughing. And I thought I was the fool in the hall, because people were laughing. Yes, now like, why are these people laughing? So another day, let's not look at this thing with privilege too. That, oh, what makes me laugh is what other people should think is funny too, or what I feel is not funny, is not, or interesting, is not. Yeah, Nigerians are entertained by the littlest things. You go out on the road, somebody opens a DVD shop, puts one B C rated war movie, and you see grown ass men stop. People that were going somewhere, they stop in front of that shop and start watching this movie. Come on. So if you have like 7K, you think, bro, I want to believe it's true until the day that they say it's not true. Then it is what it is.
All right, all right, all right. And your unrelated notes, you've already said it. Church and state, they're 5 and 6. Nobody should be surprised. All right, let's move on to Francis. Francis says, "My name is Francis, writing from Jos, and this is my first time sending a mail to the pod. Congrats. I started listening to the podcast when you guys resumed last year, February, and ever since then, it has been part of my process every Monday. Even when I don't listen on Monday or when you guys don't drop an episode on Monday, I try to keep up. Um, I try to make up while working at midnight. I respect you guys for the cultural impact and knowledge nuggets you share on the podcast. It's brilliant how you guys are a perfect combination. God, good job, guys. So last year was a wild ride. I started my tech journey in product design fully, and it has not been easy, but it's worth it. It opened my eyes to how users should experience a product and how iterations affect a product. I didn't achieve all my goals, but I tried to achieve a lot. This year, I promise to achieve a lot more than I did the previous year, and I also write not just to the pod, but creatively and technically. You guys impacted me enormously, and the year I anticipate what this year brings to us all. Shout out to AOT too. I see all the work you're putting in or you're putting out, and it's amazing. I love it. A big fan, honestly. I want to beat my target of books I read last year, 8 to at least 12 books, but hoping to make it more than that. I appreciate AOT too, if he becomes my mentor on that. There's a book you said you read last year and that it's your best read of the last year. Please, I would love to get it, and any more you can share with me, probably through PDF. Hey. When did you become a?
Ask
When
Steve
did
now.
you?
I'm
When did
still
you become?
Splug. Ask Steve. I'm still Splug.
Eh,
Ask Steve. Man.
yeah, yeah.
I go
I
soon the
can
charge
see
am.
it.
I go soon the
I
charge
can
am.
see it. I can see it already. I can clearly see it.
Um.
Um, yeah. So it says the name of the book is the Formation Book, the
Oh
making of
yeah, yeah,
Nigeria.
yeah. No wahala. Just hit me up on the DMs.
Okay, the making of Nigeria from jihad to amalgamation by Folafa Bule and Faye Fawemi. So thank you.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful
yeah, I
book.
guess you'll be seeing more of my emails this year, and I would take it to be a weekly review of my activities. Also, just to keep. Well, I'm not reading your email every week, my guy. You better wrap that shit up to quarterly. Um, yeah, to just keep myself on the toes. Yeah, you can write in that. If you don't read it, that's fine. But at least writing, and if that keeps you on your 10 toes, then um, that's good. That's good. Big respect to Steve, the unrivaled lead researcher, and Usags. Your impacts will be referenced for a long time. Thank you guys. Blah blah blah. Bless up to you. Bless up to you. And from the last person, Cole Give, he says, I love what you guys are doing. You rock, keep rocking it. ALT2 and Ugochi are using 234 essentials to give us couple vibes. AOT2, after listening to your most recent pod with Ugochi, wife, wife that woman already. The energy is energying. I need to listen to that last episode though.
I don't know what they are talking about though.
I need to listen to the last episode. Shout
Hey,
out to
yeah,
lead
right.
researcher and the all serious
I'll
society.
listen this night.
Serious.
Yeah, you have work, Steve. You have work. Don't
No,
listen.
no, this is my job now. This is my work. It's
Nah, I'm
part of it.
listening. You know what would be crazy? If they actually now say, oh, we just turned to a couple. That would be wild.
No be only couple. If you turn couple now, go sponsor am now. Global village now go sponsor am.
We did. It's a global
Yeah.
village wedding.
Yeah,
What do you
okay.
call it? It's a village. That's the whole idea. Uh, Yoruba demon and
Yeah,
Igbo
right.
and Igbo
Uh,
woman and fit each
Global
other.
Village will be so happy when it happens. You have a podcast for life.
For life. You guys are not going any. Welcome to Ghetto Records, nigga.
Or maybe not. Hey man, so that's it from family. We don't have any ask giants. Did you guys didn't ask any questions today? Just a few ones, but like,
The
yeah,
year never hits them. The year never hits them, Gbasgbos.
it's not hitting yet. You know what, knock them well. Okay, there you have it. There you have it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, guys. We'll
Yeah,
catch you
man. Thank you,
on
guys.
the next episode for sure. For sure. May God keep us. May God bless us. May God continue to protect us. May we not be kidnapped. I didn't hear.
Amen.
Amen.
It's when I now said may we not be kidnapped. I now say hear any man.
Amen. No.
And the church says, Amen.
Amen. Oh, more.
I don't want to get
Man,
into
God
that
will
whole
help
thing.
us. Yeah, man.
There was a new
Thank you.
update now. I can't remember what was the new update. There was a new update as we were
That's
recording the
the
podcast.
former minister of is it IT? I can't remember. He said the
Thank
money
you.
they've gotten the money, blah blah. I'm like, why are you even giving up this information? Like, who are you?
He said they dropped 50M out
So
of the
I
60.
don't I don't want to
Let
talk
me
about
let
it
me read
again.
it. Let me read
Oh
it.
god, that sucks.
Nah, we're gonna read it. We're going to read it. Hold on. Let's use this one to end. So everybody could just use vexation, start the week. The guy says, Alhamdulillah, I'm personally not in support of paying ransom to criminals. However, since it's become clear we have lost our daughter Nabiha yesterday, and the 5 remaining daughters have been threatened, as I spoke with the father on the matter yesterday and today. Furthermore, I spoke with a friend and a brother who offered to pay the remaining 50 million naira of the 60 million immediately. I conveyed the account number of the father of our daughters, to the friend and the brother to send the money directly. Any additional amount earlier generated from yesterday, the father can use to treat the daughters and the other family members, inshallah. May the Almighty Allah reward the brother and friend with Janato Firdaus for the donation. May He also reward all those who contributed in any way with Janato Firdaus too. May He also forgive Nabiha and rescue his sisters. May the Almighty also help our security agencies to bring an end to these challenges. May Nigeria be a better place for all of us. I love Nigeria. Hashtag Nejiba and her sisters. Okay, this was tweeted by Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim, right? That's Pantami, Professor
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Cybersecurity, previous Nigeria's first ever Minister of Digital Economy, etc. etc. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. The problem, I cannot even clearly, for security purposes and the safety of my own life, right? I cannot start to detail what the problem is. I just want to let you guys know there's a problem. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. I don't
And
have
that's
any
all we have to say.
I don't have
Thank
any other
you.
thing to say. I don't want to because if this podcast go give me like another 3-4 minutes, I'll go into a very long rant. I just want to tell you guys that if you ever thought we don't have a problem and that we will be my people, there is a problem in the land. This there are indices of problems of major issues that a country will have, and you start seeing it. This one that happened. Ah, don't worry. Let's be going after this podcast. I'm going to church now. Like this, like this. I'm going to church. Let me go
Yes,
and
now.
yeah, let me go and meet my pastor too. Shebi, people go and meet. I'm going to meet my own pastor too. I'm going to church now, 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 now. As we off this mic now, I want to go and pray. Let me go and pray for the country. Shebi, this pastor said we should pray for our leaders. I'm going to the church now. I want to go and kneel at the pulpit and pray for my leader. That's what I
Thank
want
you.
to do.
Do it for our country. Thank
All
you
of
so
us,
much.
yeah. This for all of us.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll pray. I'll fast. I'll fast. I'll pray. I'll pray to God that our leaders that have hardened hearts, that the tears of the people will soften their hearts. It's not how all your pastors preach.
Mm. Soften the heart of our leaders.
Yes. Guide them. We're not ready. It's a very painful, you know. hmm. The writing's on the wall, guys. It's- The writing's on the wall. And if we're not ready, then we're not ready. Have a great week. Bye.
Aye, man.
Bye
Bye.
bye.